A very, very warm welcome into the National Basketball Performance Centre in Manchester. It's playoff final Sunday in the NBL Division 1. It's the men's final. The Hemel Storm are going to be taking on the Reading Rockets. The players are about to get their official introductions. And once they're back out on the floor, we'll be back to bring you all of the pre-game analysis with myself and Will Reed before we get underway with what is sure to be an absolutely brilliant game of basketball. We'll be back in just a couple of moments' time.
One, two.
Where are you going? What are you doing?
It's like a baby, isn't it? You just got to... Check.
Yeah. Okay, you go. I assume our mic's down, but who knows? I assume our mics are down, but just checking. It is loud. We have the power of technology, and I can still barely hear my own thoughts and everything else. Will, just talk about this atmosphere. What are the fans bringing to this so far?
Hemel Storm and Reading Rockets being as loud as they usually are. Fantastic atmosphere for the Division 1 final. Can't wait for it to get started.
It's brilliant, and it's coming in your way just in about 14 and a half minutes. That gives us a little bit of time to introduce you to the two teams. We're going to start off with the Hemel Storm. They've had a brilliant season, 19 and 5. They finished third, and they score a lot of points, Will.
Yeah, they did. But Hemel have always been good. They've always had a potent offense. They've got this team-first ethos. They like to pass the ball, cut off the ball, a lot of ball movement, a lot of off-the-ball movement. That's the key to their offense. They like to move the ball and work within the team, and it's not just about one player, it's about the collective.
Now, of course, they know all about winning on this stage. They were here this time last year, taking the victory in that historic, unbelievable season. A lot has changed since then. They've got a new head coach, Mark Clark. They've had quite a turnaround in personnel, and then a second one during the season. So talk to me about their transition, how change is going to affect them today.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can't replace an Aaron Rye, right? You can't replace someone of that caliber. But what you can do is try and replace him in the aggregate. And what I mean by that is you can try and replace him across the board. And what Hemel do every year is recruit really well. They manage to find players that fit their system, fit them as a club. They find the right players, and it always helps when Taylor's looking for a new club and can come back home. So it's always helpful having him come back midway through the season. Mr. MVP, Mr. Hemel Storm. So it's great for him to be back in the club. They've also picked up a great player with BBL experience as well. So it should be really interesting how they adjust to that and how they move forward.
Let's talk a little bit about their route to the final. They took down the Loughborough Riders in the quarter-final, 90-80, and it was that man, TJ Taylor-Johnson, 27 points on quite the showing.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor, the one thing Taylor can do is put the ball in the basket. Yeah. So if you don't plan for him right, or you let him get hot straight in the first couple of minutes, it's going to be a long day for you. So 27, compared to some of his performances we've seen, even here in Manchester, that's a small number for Taylor.
And then into the semi-finals, they took down the Bradford Dragons 80-79. And you talk about experience. It was Darren Nelson-Henry, 21 points, put the team on his back just a little bit, the big man.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you play in the BBL for as many years as he has, the big moments you don't shy away from those. Those are the sort of moments that you live for. I mean, he's shooting this season as well, 37.5% from three. So as a big man, that stretches the floor. It opens up the spacing for someone like Tyler to be able to go and work. So him being able to shoot the ball and be able to offer that offensive threat is really key for Hemel today. Now
Hemel, they only had more than one player in the all-NBL first team, and it was Hakeem Silla, who is an absolute behemoth, 23 and 9 on the average. He's not here today.
Mr. Pogo Stick, unfortunately, he's got an injury, his ACL. I call him Mr. Pogo Stick because his second jump, when he jumps down, is one of the most amazing things I've seen. It's so quick for the second rebound. That's why he leads the league in rebounding, he leads the league in offensive rebounding. His efficiency's through the roof, top 10 in the efficiency for the season. So he's going to be a massive miss on the boards today for Hemel. So it'll be interesting to see how Nelson-Henry deals with that. And if some of their younger guys can come in and give them some. Vernon Ezzy's probably going to be someone that's going to look to go and grab some rebounds today for them.
Yeah, Vernon Ezzy as well. He's a player that is no stranger to this stage and the big event. Is there anybody else from this Hemel Storm that you want to highlight right now?
I mean, Braden Inger's probably the one for me. We thought he was injured. That's what we got through at the start, but we see him here today. He's actually got a heavily strapped up ankle as he goes past us here on the screen. He's got a heavily strapped up ankle, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does. He's averaging at the moment, I think it's 38%, 39.8% from three. So he's going to be someone from three to look out for today.
All right, we're going to take a moment right now and head over to some coaches' interviews that we got with coaches in just a couple of minutes ago. We're going to start off with the Hemel Storm's head coach, with Mark Clark. Storm head coach Mark Clark. Mark, what a great season you guys have had to get here. Just a quick opening comment on that.
Yeah, well, one, it's been a great season. It's always difficult to follow up from the huge success that the club had last year. And, you know, we had some difficult things to deal with Seth leaving, with Silla's, with Hakeem's injury. But the overriding thing is they're a great group of guys on and off the court. So, yeah, it's been a very successful year, and Division One's a great level.
Talking about that experience in finals, is that something that you're going to look to work with today? Does that help at all, or is that a non-factor?
I think not having experience in finals sometimes is an issue, but once you're in the game, it's a game. It's a big game against a good team, but once you're in the game, it's the game.
You guys have played some absolute ding-dong battles in the league so far this season. How does that set you up coming in today, being this the third time you've met?
Well, there should be no surprises. Obviously, in the last game, Hakeem was already injured, so they won't be fazed by the fact that we've got a slightly different look in what we're trying to do offensively. Any team coached by Samet is a good team, full stop. And they'll be well prepared, and there shouldn't be any surprises, but it will come down to which team wants to do it the most in terms of execution. If we execute for each other, then we'll be fine.
Very quickly, how's preparation gone this week?
Well, it's been good because obviously last week was a real tough one. I mean, Bradford have had a great run in the postseason and they know how to score. So we dug deep and came out with a win. So it's not hard to be motivated for prep, and it's against an opponent that we know. So, you know, having Braden back in the lineup, if we needed a bit of a lift, that's huge. And you know, the worry is he hasn't played for a while now, so he will be a little bit lacking in rhythm, but his upside far outweighs his backside. So we've had a great week.
Finally, what is one thing the fans at home should be looking out for with Storm basketball today?
Tempo. That's it. If we play at the right tempo, I think we win. If we rebound and play at tempo, one, they should enjoy the game because we move the ball and have some fun. But if we keep the tempo high, we've got a good. But they're also a team that plays at tempo. So the fans should have an exciting game to see.
Mark Clark, best of luck today, and thank you for your time. I'm here with the Reading Rockets head coach, Samit Nurizadeh.
Thank you.
What a fantastic season you guys have had to make it here.
Yes, we've done well. Thank you, appreciate it.
Of course, you guys have previous experience coming to this venue, playing in finals. How's that going to help you in today's game?
It will. I think it will. Last time we played it was a cup final. I think the occasion got to us a little bit, but eventually we kind of figured out how to play. Unfortunately, we just fell a little bit short, but hopefully this time we will be a lot better.
You guys have met in some really cracking league contests this season. Again, how does that familiarity, having played Hemel twice, help you going into today?
Both times we played, they had two different teams, if you know what I mean. They've changed the Americans, and that makes quite a lot of difference, and they brought cracking players there. We had a good game against them, going at our place, going into like last two nail bite at the end, but they came through better than us. It will help. It will help. It will help them as well. They played us quite twice as well, so we will see.
And how has prep gone this week for you?
Great. As you know, we played against Derby. We had a good game against them away. And it's been good. It's been good.
My final question is just, if there's one thing that the fans should be looking out for with the Rockets today, what's that going to be?
Heart. We play with our hearts.
No more needs to be said. Thank you so much for your time, Coach, and have a great game. Enjoy today.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Welcome back in, courtside here. We are about 6.5 minutes away from the action. Let's talk about the Reading Rockets. You've just heard it there from their head coach. He said the key to them today, the thing the fans are going to see, is heart.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to Lewis Champion in the week and I asked him a couple of questions and he kind of echoed exactly the same things. They're like Hemel, they're a team, ethos team. It's all about the team, it's about ball movement, it's about moving off of the ball, it's about those guys having that moment together, being able to push the ball. Lewis and also you've got Reese out there that's had his best season so far at the moment shooting the ball, so he's done really well so far. And then you've got Mitch as well. Mitch, he's done really well this season, being an Australian import, he's done really well. But yeah, they're a team. It's not about any one individual, and I think we're going to see some really good team basketball today from both sides, so very much so team basketball.
Yeah, Mitch Clark, we'll just highlight him for a second, number 4, 16, 4 and 5 this season. What impact has he had?
Yeah, I mean, when you've got someone that can kind of be a Swiss Army knife, a bit like Sam Newman for Hemel Storm, where he can just fit all the boxes, tick everything off, rebounds, assists, steals, points. It's great to have someone like that because it alleviates the pressure from someone like Lewis or Reese to have them go and get a bucket. And when you've got someone like Jeremiah as well, who's also a bit of an energizer bunny, wants to get going, get down the court quick, it's a bit of an issue, isn't it? It's really loud in here and you can't really hear yourself talk. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting today.
Let's talk a little bit about the route through to the final. They knocked off Newcastle in quite impressive fashion in the quarter-final, 96-60. Maynard coming up big, 22 points.
Yeah, I mean, Maynard's another one. He's probably going to be the X factor today for Reading. He's going to be that option where he's not the first option, he's not the second option, but he's the third option. And being the third option, when it's in the final, you're normally the person that ends up getting the most open looks because everyone plans for the first and second option, and then the third option steps up, and someone that can put the bucket in like Maynard can, you end up getting the ball a bit more and a bit more freedom. So I think he might be the X factor for Reading today.
Now, both these two teams, we can call them underdogs. Some people wouldn't have had this as a final, not necessarily. The Derby Trailblazers, they fell in the semi-finals, 84-87, and it was Powell. You've already mentioned him briefly. He came up huge with 20 points, and it was a massive second quarter effort that really kick-started that win.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone did expect Derby to make the final, so I understand what you're saying there by underdogs, but I don't think anyone that's in the top half, the top 6 teams in the NBL can be called underdogs. Everyone that's in the top 6 side is definitely not an underdog in this situation. Both of these teams finished in the top 4. Both of these teams know what it's like to win. And Hemel being 4 years in a row being in the final as well is something to be amazing, to commend as well. And Reading have been here before. They've been in these sort of situations before. They know what it's like what it's like to win. So it's going to be really interesting, I think, the start of the game, just how each other assess each other, and the chess match within the game that you're going to see as well.
These two, they've had some really cracking contests in the league so far. I mentioned it to both coaches, and those coaches, they sound like they really did enjoy those games that they played. It's a 1-1 split record between them, both winning on the away floor. Hemel losing to Reading Rockets 84-92 on the first matchup. Clark, again, big, 26 points.
Yeah, again, like I said, someone like Mitch, he's a bit like Taylor in that sense. If you let him get hot, he's going to be in for a long afternoon, and he shows it with that 26 points. He's getting into rhythm. We've got Hemel going to have today to get Mitch out of his rhythm, like Reading going to have to do with Taylor, get him out of his rhythm. So it'll be really interesting. If Mitch gets going early, I think Reading will stand a really good chance of taking the chip today.
The other matchup was a really close encounter, 87-90. That was won by Hemel Storm, and again, it's that man. It's Nelson Henry, 33 points, making it happen.
Yeah, it's that BBL experience. When you've got a BBL bigger that's playing in the National Basketball League division after getting a couple of years on, that experience, you can't teach experience, and being able to just have that on the Hemel Storm and that low post option, and also being able to spread the floor and shoot the three, it's always going to be a great option. Always going to get a load of points out of someone like that.
You've got about 30 seconds left, Will. Talk to me. We've got the one word from Hemel, tempo. The one word from Reading was heart. What do you make of that matchup? I
think it's going to be heart over mindset, I think, is what it's going to be today. Whoever's heart gets taken first, they're going to fall away. So if both teams play with heart, play with tempo, like we've said, both teams are going to be able. It's going to be a great final, great advert for the game. It's
going to be an absolute classic. We're going to send it over to your commentary team of Jake Kenyon and the main man, John Holmes.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Will. It all comes down to this. The NBL Division 1 playoff final, the Reading Rockets and the Hemel Storm. And you can hear the noise. It is thunderous inside the National Basketball Performance Centre. Both teams very well supported. They've made the long trip up to the northwest for this massive encounter. You see there Reading Rockets GM Gary Johnson looking on in and amongst the Reading fans here today. It's going to be a fantastic game. John Hobbs, Worthing Thunder's Jake Einan has joined me in the commentary booth. We'll bring Jake in just a little bit as we look at the two teams for today's game, starting with the Hemel Storm, the designated away team for that game. Jake, you can see a lot of big names in there. Brandon Inga will play today, even though he's listed as injured. He will play today. The ankle is heavily strapped up. Of course, no Akeem Silla, but some big names in that team.
Yeah, I spoke to Braden earlier this week. He's a tough guy. His ankle is strapped up, but he said he can't miss this game for nothing. He can play when it's hurt, and it's going to show him today. This one game, anything can happen. You need all the guys you can. If it's 5 minutes, it's 10 minutes, however long, and you can make an impact on the game today. Yeah, Darian Shusey has got so much experience coming from the BBL, and everyone knows Taylor Johnson loves the final. He loves the final.
And going on to the Reading Rockets, 16-8 overall in the regular season. They came through in the playoffs and have led themselves to this dance. And some big names in there. Mitch Clark, obviously a danger man for Reading.
Yeah, he can do everything. He can score the ball. He's a general on the court. He gets the guys going. He's a true pro. True pro. Reece Pinnock having one of the best years of his life. He's shooting the ball really good. And then Lewis Champion, all the experience in the world. He knows how to win in a final. He's been here multiple times before. And yeah, they're ready for it. I spoke to Reece earlier. He said they know offensively they can score. It's getting stops. Hemel love to run. If they can stop them in transition and really make them score in the half court, he believes they're going to have a lot of success today. It's going to be a great game. Two of the biggest clubs in the UK, Reading, Hemel. What more can you ask for on a Sunday?
Starting five, starting with the Hemel Storm, Sam Newman, Darian Nelson, Henry, Taylor Johnson, Tez Allen, and interestingly, Braden Inga will be in the starting five for today. Christian Alexander, Mitch Clark, Lewis Champion, Elijah Maynard, and Reece Pinnock, your starting fives for the Reading Rockets. Today's officials, Tom Muddyman, Matt Laurie, and Paulina Hertz calling the action as the noise amplifies around the National Basketball Performance Centre. What an occasion this is. It is the fourth straight playoff final appearance for the Hemel Storm. They're 1-2 right now. Reading want it to be 1-3. As we get set and we are underway in the final game of the 2023-24 season. This is what it's all about as Inga has the ball back to Newman. Allen driving a Champion and an offensive foul early doors.
That's what Lewis does. He knows how to take a play. He knows if it's not scoring, if it's not assisting, he knows how to make plays on the basketball court. And from the bounce, he's taking a charge. Early foul on Tez. Get the bench in early. That's a great play.
It was a tough ask for Mark Clark to take over from a team 41-0 last season, but he's led them back to the dance here in Manchester today after a tough start to the season. Here is Pinnock, back to Clark. Alexander looking for options, finds it in Champion, who is fouled by Newman. Newman was complaining that there was a kick there from Champion as he was jumping, but referee's not interested.
Hey, it's a perfect start to the game. Get to the free throw line, see the ball go in, and the next time you get the ball, that three-pointer, that's a lot of an easier shot. I think maybe a questionable call, but yeah, to the line, 3 shots.
Reading 9th in Division 1 in free-throw percentage at 70%, or just a shade under 71% as Champion makes the first, and we are off and running in the Division 1 playoff final. Already 2 quick team fouls for the Hemel Storm. And as you mentioned, Jake, you know, something that Reading are going to lock in is trying to get Hemel in early foul trouble.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Especially Sam Newman, Taylor Johnson, if you can get them on the bench early and bring in other guys who aren't used to playing heavy minutes, in a game like this, it's huge.
And conversely, Reading actually lead the league in fouls committed, so they need to watch their step on the big stage here today as Inga has it. Of course, that right ankle heavily taped. Johnson driving at Clark, loses the ball, and Pinnock comes up with it. And Pinnock now will let his brothers in arms help him out as Champion has it.
Got the mismatch down low.
Yeah, easy mismatch for Alexander, and he gets the friendly roll.
That's what you want to find. In games like this, if you can get easy buckets, easy scores like this, it helps so much. Down here, Taylor's trying to go too hard, and down there, Reading get a really easy bucket.
Nelson Henry looking for Newman, just about finds him. Behind the back pass was risky, but finds Nelson Henry. 8 to shoot. Nelson Henry blows the layup, and Alexander picks up the rebound.
Yeah, Hemel really struggling to get their offense going. Sam needs to really take control right now. Get Taylor a couple touches.
Already 0 for 3 from the field, Hemel, in the early going. Here is Maynard. Pinnock driving along the baseline. Pretty move and a foul. Reece Pinnock, who has stepped up his game this season, especially from the three-point line. Before this season, we barely even knew he had a three-point shot in his arsenal. He's shown it this season, but instead decides to drive along the baseline.
But everyone's talking so much about Reece's shot. If he has a guy like Braden who has a hurt ankle on him, he has to take advantage and not settle for three and attack and get to the ring. Again, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the basket. So it's a little bit long there, but he'll keep it going.
Here is Johnson looking to ignite the storm early on. Spins on Clark. Newman driving, lays it up, and just about gets it to go. Sam Newman gets the storm off and running.
But that left hand, what a finish. What a finish.
Clark driving at Nelson Henry, gets his own rebound and puts it in on the follow.
We said earlier, he does everything. Rebound, score, assist, he does everything.
Right now, Reading off to a flyer. 9-2 start. Hemel struggling to find their groove as Inga turns inside and he gets it to go.
True pro, true pro. Her ankle, just get an easy one, get the confidence going.
Pinnock. It is deafening here at the National Basketball Performance Centre as Pinnock ran out of room and decided to go for the floater. Inga looks for options, finds it in Johnson on the catch and shoot. That's off the back iron. And Alexander the rebound. And Clark wants to slow it down. Clark, who started slowly in the cup final back here in January, but found his rhythm in the third and fourth period. Unfortunately, it came up in defeat for them as Pinnock misses the two inside and away goes Newman. Newman, beautiful pass to Johnson. Pretty basketball by the Storm.
He leads the league in assists for a reason. He leads the league in assists. That's what Hemel want, though. They want fast break points.
Clark a three, splash.
The answer's right there.
Johnson, a nice pass inside to Nelson Henry. And right now, both teams really finding their groove. It's not one for the defensive purists right now.
Yeah, both teams picking up the tempo a little bit, seeing the basketball go in the rim, getting a bit more confident. We love to see this. Is what we want to see right now.
Clark, bit of a mismatch with Nelson Henry, but Champion just about picks it up. Maynard in the corner, a three, no good. Alexander gets the loose ball, he blows the bunny, and away comes Newman. Frantic start to this Division 1 final. It's pretty much been the tempo all throughout the weekend as a steal, and away come the Rockets. Champion. Nelson Henry and Alexander battling, and a turnover as Newman again comes up with it. Newman inside, no good with his layup, and a bit of a scrappy sequence from both teams.
Yeah, we need to slow it down a little bit, get under control. But if they keep playing like this, I don't know how much longer they can keep up. There's going to be some subs coming in soon.
Clark inside, no good. 4 different scorers already for Hemel, and Johnson inside, gets bumped. Alexander with the good defensive stand. Johnson wanted a foul.
I don't know about that one.
You would say that. And here is Maynard to Champion. Looking for options. He finds Maynard, a 6-footer.
That's just what Reading needed. Couple of bad offenses, get an easy mid-range, get back to their sets. Now Hemel need to start picking it up right now in the half court.
Average 12 points a game this season, Elijah Maynard. 38% from downtown, 42% from the field. Nelson Henry backing down Alexander, and that's a foul on the floor. And let's just talk about the impact that Darian Nelson Henry has had. Joined the team in the new year, following a stint with the Leicester Riders, announced his retirement from the British Basketball League. Now putting his trade here at Hemel, and away from basketball, has entered the corporate world as well. He works as a retention specialist near the Hemel Hempstead area, so getting a full-time job aside from the professional career.
Yeah, so he wants that balance. Spoke to him recently as well. Full-time job, lives in Hackney now, and he just missed basketball. I think a lot of guys, when they do retire, they get that itch to come play, and the difference between BBL and Division 1 is that it is a semi-pro sport, so you can have a full-time job and be able to play at a very high level, what we're watching right now. Lewis champion for 3.
Lewis champion, how many times have we seen that in the years as he trades a bit of trash talk with Veronese, who's into the game for the first time.
Them early free throws, I told you, get a couple early free throws, that next 3 is going in.
Sam Newman, who's on the ball, is currently on 2 fouls as well. Mark Clark opting to keep him in as Inga puts up a 3. Great degree of difficulty with Maynard in his face.
Yeah, leaving Sam in with 2 fouls, especially as Sam does love to reach the top 5 in steals this league, but this year. But again, that comes with the risk of fouls, and him with 3 fouls in the first half, he's a huge part of this offense for Hemel.
Absolutely, as Darian Nelson-Henry gets it to go. Just going to check the referee there, who calls the foul as well. So a 3-point opportunity for Darian Nelson-Henry. Referee Paulina Hertz in good position for that, and a quick timeout has been called as well by the Reading Rockets, who started the game 9-2 and have been pegged back a little bit. Still have a 7-point lead though, with 3:14 remaining.
Well, Hemel went on that little run. Reading couldn't score the basketball. They had a few bad offenses, and that allowed Hemel to really start getting out and running. That's where they score the ball the best. They're a fast break team. They lead the whole league in scoring. Their half court, obviously when you have Taylor Johnson, your half court offense is in safe hands, but they want to run. So if Reading miss bad shots, long rebounds, or turn the ball over, Hemel are looking to get out real quick. So if Reading can score the basketball or not take and look after it, they can really slow them down and they'll struggle to score.
A big welcome to everyone watching on the Basketball England YouTube channel. Great to have you all on board here today for the final game of the 2023-24 season. It's been an absolute roller coaster ride. One of the tightest finishes in Division 1 we've seen all season long, with Hemel, Derby and Essex competing for top spot. Of course, Derby getting that league title, but then falling at the semi-final hurdle to the Reading Rockets in a fantastic matchup. And for Reading, they thoroughly deserve to be here. But on the flip side, Hemel had a kind of a slow start to the season, and then obviously bringing Taylor Johnson in, Darian Nelson-Henry in right now have been absolutely outstanding, and have actually been 12-2 since the turn of the year.
Yeah, well, when you bring in 2 legit professional basketball players, it helps a lot. But with Reading, they beat Derby twice in the last 4 games. So it's not a surprise they're here. They beat them in the last game of the regular season, and then they beat them in the semi-finals. They're an amazing team, and they've shown it. To get into the final here, you have to beat the best. And right now, they're playing against a really strong Hemel team. And right now, Reading are up 7 points, but we'll see how it goes.
Of course, these 2 teams met in the semi-finals of the playoffs last season. Hemel coming away with an 89-86 victory. Taylor Johnson had 26 points that day. Hemel had the chance, Reading had the chance to win it with that guy on the ball. But he missed his 3-pointer that could have taken the game to overtime, as Mitch Clark, with 3 to shoot, puts up a 3. Good defense from Nelson-Henry, and away comes Johnson, but he's fouled straight away.
Again, that's what I was talking about. Long rebounds, Hemel want to get out in transition. That's how they score the basketball. So shots like that, I don't think he needs to settle there. Try and get an early foul on him. 2 fouls, he sits down at the half. Instead, you shoot a bad shot, Hemel start running, another foul, Taylor Johnson, sideline, Hemel ball.
And Taylor Johnson, who in his last 3 visits with Hemel in this venue has averaged 28 points, 8.6 rebounds and 4.6 assists a game. So he loves this venue, and of course played for the Plymouth City Patriots here briefly in the BBL this season. And Newman still on the court on 2 fouls.
I'm really surprised about that.
A lot of faith in Newman.
But that's why he's in there.
Exactly.
That's why he is in there.
Ezzy with the 2, Veronese. Here is Pinnock. Finley Porter into the game for the Rockets. Maynard, the extra pass.
Good
Jenkins
offense.
in the corner, a 3.
Good offense, good offense. If they can get wide open jump shots, they've got guys that can really knock it down.
Johnson. 2 minutes to go in the first. Reading up by 7. Nelson Henry, great footwork inside, pretty move, and that's, with a player of his caliber, that's what you want to see.
Yeah, Hemel really needs to find a way of getting him involved more in this offense. I think today he is a massive X factor. If he can have 20 points, 10 rebounds, something along that, Hemel will have a really good chance of winning this game. But again, Reading, if they could stop him as well, that's huge for them.
Jenkins, again in the corner, Pinnock a 3, and that's what we've seen all season long. Reece Pinnock, who chooses his three-point shots carefully, and when he does, they more or less go in as Newman at the other end. Inger in the corner to answer.
Right back at you, right back at you. That corner 3, they're loving it right now. They're loving it in front of the benches.
1 minute and 10 remaining in the first as Clark at the elbow is short. Finley Porter collects the loose change.
But that's what Reece does as well. He just gets involved. He's an amazing athlete.
Pinnock driving. Maynard in the corner again, but Darian Nelson Henry rebounds this time as Sam Newman slows it down and calls the horn set. Newman goes for 3 anyway, and he knocks it down.
You can't go under. There's 4 or 5 guys in the court right now. If you go under that screen, they're pulling it every time at a high level.
Hemel right now, second 3 in a row. Now 2 for 5 from downtown as Maynard goes inside.
Yeah, Hemel's defense, they're not great, but a great take. Lefty as well.
Newman. About a 2.5 differential between shot and game clock to end the first. Newman being guarded by Jenkins and a bit too enthusiastic for the steal. Jeremiah Jenkins.
Well, it's smart. They had a foul to give. Let Hemel take it out on the sideline. So high IQ play.
Jeremiah Jenkins, 10 points, 6 rebounds and 5 assists in the semi-final win against Derby. Averaged 16 points on 40% shooting from three-point land last season as Zach Powell comes into the game for the first time for the Rockets. And Jenkins takes a seat. Newman, nice pass inside, and Johnson connects and one.
Huge, huge. You can't, when Sam has the ball and you're in that lane, you can't look at him. They know he's such a good passer. He's had 3 backdoor passes already, and that's killing them. I think Reading really needs to be aware of that and play a little bit there on that help side.
Second field goal for Taylor Johnson as Sam Newman now takes a seat. Matthew Dizu will come into the game, and obviously he'll be happy with what happened yesterday. His former club, the Essex Rebels, second team winning the Division 3 title. There was a smile on your face there when I said that as well.
Hey, we know up the revs, up the revs. Yeah, they've got Division 1 and Division 2 next year, so it's huge for the program.
And we'll talk about that a little bit more in detail when we end the first period as Darian Nelson Henry comes out and into the game for the first time.
See if
Greg
they get
Duran.
a good one.
Clark to end the first quarter, and his 3 is no good. He wanted a foul, referee's in good position, and that ends a very tight first quarter. Reading started off with a 9-2 run. Hemel came back, Reading then rallied again, and then Hemel answered strongly to end the first. It's been an entertaining first 10 minutes.
Well, this is what you want for a final. You want excitement. You want players playing freely, not nervous. Right now, the guys, they're shooting great shots. They're feeling comfortable out there, and they're putting on a show. Yeah. You're in Manchester. It's the final. We want to see good basketball. And right now, we've been treated to one quarter of it. 25-24. Not a lot of defense being played. Again, Reece said that defense was their big point earlier. If they can stop Hemel in transition, they could be really successful. And I think they'll be talking it over right now. How can we slow them down a little bit? But both teams, offensively, they should be really happy.
As we look at the highlights of the first quarter, Darian Nelson Henry leading all scorers with 7 points, 3 rebounds. Lewis Champion, the high man for Reading, with 6, who lead by 1 after the first quarter. And it's been an interesting weekend. Obviously, Jake, you've been here throughout the weekend, as we have as well, and it's been a pretty interesting one for you, and you've been kept busy as the Essex Rebels 2 won the Division 3 playoff title. Of course, Hemel Storm here today, and your minimal brand clothing line has been a big factor in those two clubs.
Yeah, we've been very busy this week. Both clubs approached me earlier in the week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Didn't give me a lot of time, so Friday night was definitely an early morning finish printing T-shirts, but to be involved with such big clubs for our brand is huge, you know. Printing T-shirts for clubs such as Hemel, they're one of the biggest clubs in the whole country, and we have the opportunity to do that. It's a blessing. And then, you know, I have history of Essex Rebels and up the Revs. You know, I love the Rebels and all the guys there, and I'm just happy that they're really seeing success. Obviously, when I was there, we weren't the best team. We were fighting for relegation, but now they came second in Division 1, and then the Division 3 team are getting promoted to Division 2. The only club in the country with Division 1 and Division 2 men, so that speaks for itself. Absolutely.
Warm-up tops for both Essex and Hemel being provided by Jake Einan and the Minimal brand. It's fantastic to see local independent businesses supporting these great clubs throughout the weekend as we get set for the second quarter here at the National Basketball Performance Centre. Reading up 1, and here is Porter to Jenkins. Cavell Hawes into the game for the first time for Hemel, the number 0.
It's great extra passing.
Powell, a 3. That's short. And Zach Powell, they nickname him the General, but he misses his first attempt from the field as Johnson has it.
Yeah, if Zach can get going this game, he's a huge factor in the semi-final win. So really good shooter, but an amazing athlete.
Dizu inside, blows the layup, and here comes Clark. Clark deflected away by Taylor Johnson, and it's out of bounds. And let's talk about Cavell Hawes, the number 0 for Hemel. Averaged just over 8 minutes a game this season, a significant jump from the 3 minutes he played during the 41-0 season, a product of the Kohler Academy. Of course, he'll be happy with how the women played today.
Well, he's at University of Berkshire with Darla as well, so he's playing a lot of basketball right now.
As Maynard puts in the 2 from the baseline. And here is Johnson. Cavell Hawes certainly has earned his spot in this Hemel Storm roster. Nelson Henry, Dizu from the wing, a 3.
Big shot by Dizu. He's having a great year. At Essex Rebels the last 2 or 3 years have come to Hemel, and really right now in the second half of the season and these playoffs, he's really making an impact.
Finley Porter, wild pass, but it finds Zach Powell, finds Alec, finds Finley Porter.
We were just talking about Sam and Taylor on the back door, but great cuts in middle and a great finish.
Here is Hawes. Johnson puts up a 3, no foul, late foul actually has been called. It was a very late whistle, but referee's in good position. Jeremiah Jenkins not happy with the call.
I don't think I'd be very happy with that one either.
As Taylor Johnson goes to the line, we'll just see it on the replay. It was right in front of us.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I know if I didn't get that call, I'd be complaining, and if I was on the other end, I would be complaining that they called it. It's a tough one. Yeah.
Typical point guard attitude.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. But yeah, to the line, 3 shots, see if we can get it going from here.
As Johnson misses the first, Taylor Johnson, a 79% foul shooter for the season. And at the moment on 5 points. Noise is deafening here at the National Basketball Performance Centre, and you can even see in the crowd a few of the Storm fans just egging on the Reading Rockets supporters as well, and there's a bit of banter going on back and forth, which is really cool to see as well.
Well, it's an event. It's not just a basketball game, it's an event, and Basketball England have put on a great weekend, and the last game, possibly two best teams in the league right now just going at us. What else do you want?
And it all comes down to this. 2 minutes played in the second. Here is champion Clark. Back to champion. Shot clock at 6 for Powell. Champion driving at Johnson. Lays it up, lays it in.
Great finish, great finish. Got a late shot clock, just made a play. That's a true champion right there.
Johnson, offensive foul. Great stand there from Mitch Clark. And Taylor Johnson with his first foul.
Yeah, that's 2 charges already Reading have taken. They said defense was their thing, and taking these charges, getting guys in early foul trouble is so important in finals games.
Taylor Johnson arguing that Mitch Clark's feet were not set when that charge happened.
I think we got a warning on the coach as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Samet Urizade and Mark Clark barking instructions. Mark Clark getting a technical warning. Here is Champion back to Clark. Surveying the court. Powell driving, spinning, runs into trouble. Johnson rebounds.
This is where Hemel want to run.
Hemel loved the transition game, but that shot is no good from Johnson, who is struggling from the field right now. Here is Clark going inside. Blows the layup. Ezzy rebounds. Frantic pace restored as Dizu goes all the way. Airballs his layup. And Clark slows it down.
Yeah, need to slow it down. Tempo's really high. Could be a mismatch right here in the low block, though.
Cavell Hall's just under 6 feet. Mitch Clark 6'2", and Clark is fouled hard.
Well, that's early recognition of a mismatch. Get to the free throw line. They've had a couple bad offenses, so that's just smart. He's, again, a true point guard. Understanding where the mismatches are and getting to the free throw line.
4th straight playoff final appearance for the Hemel Storm, of course. Both their losses so far in the playoffs have come at the hands of the Solent Kestrels. They did get the win last season against the Worthing Thunder. Taylor Johnson and Aaron Rye were named joint MVP in that game. I wonder what Aaron Rye is doing these days.
I think
he's playing at some club called Cheshire Phoenix, am I not mistaken?
I think he's doing pretty well as well.
Yeah, Aaron, what a player. What a player.
Absolutely, and what a club Cheshire Phoenix are as well, in all seriousness, welcoming Aaron Rye in and obviously doing an incredible job in the British Basketball League with a great franchise.
No, he loves it up there. Yeah, he says a great environment, a great team, and he's really haven't been successful up there. Every league he's played in, he's done this, so it's not a surprise to me. I've seen how hard he works, looks after his body, really gets reps in, and he's such a smart player. Everyone's watched him in Division 1, but that jump to BBL has been huge.
Reading lead by 3 with 6:49 remaining in the second. Here is Newman. Maynard guarding. Newman pulls up a 3, that's way off.
Yeah, that's a tough shot.
And here is Powell, and Zach Powell now wants to slow it down. Reading doing a very good job of being a bit more methodical with their offense as Pinnock.
Another mismatch down low. You have to send a double on this.
And Newman's on 2 fouls as well. He doesn't want to get into foul trouble. And a battle right by us, and Champion wins the battle. 2 seconds on the shot clock as Alexander puts it in on the buzzer.
Huge play. Again, Lewis doing the intangibles, diving on loose balls, finding a way to get it done.
Leading the lead in blocks this season, 8 points, 10 boards against his former club Newcastle in the quarter-final stage.
Now mismatch the other way.
And now Inga with a mismatch on Champion, but his shot agonisingly falls out.
Yeah, he's missed a couple of weeks, so he wants to see the ball definitely go in to get that confidence, but we'll see how his ankle holds up.
Lewis Champion, who's had a fantastic playoff run this season and throughout his career. He's won this before with Reading back in 2013 as Alexander misses the short hook. And here is Hawes.
Hemel need a good offense right now. When Taylor's not on the court in the half court, they really need to find a way to play together and move the basketball.
Inga inside, Tez Allen, the extra pass to Ezzy. 5 to shoot, Ezzy a turnaround J, no good. Tez Allen gets the offensive rebound. Inga a 3 from the corner, gets it to go. Reading fans wanted to travel.
I don't know about that one, it's a tough one. Loose ball, but Braden hitting a huge corner 3. The ankle's feeling pretty good right now.
Pinnock. Reading still lead by 2. Champion driving, lays it up and in. What a pretty move from Lewis Champion.
But he's putting his stamp on this final right now, making huge plays on and off the basketball.
13-year senior career for Lewis Champion. 6 of them have been with the Rockets. Spent his junior career with the Berkshire club as well. So it's great to see him with his hometown club. Of course, had times at Team Northumbria, spent some time in the British Basketball League as well with the Bristol Flyers, and Lewis Champion has been an absolutely incredible ambassador for this British basketball sport, for this British basketball community.
Yeah, no, he's huge. He's been successful at every level he's played. Right now at Reading, he's found a home. He's really comfortable here. He's been successful here. Obviously, they lost the cup recently, but a guy like that in this kind of competition in the final is someone you want. He's got experience, he's got a skill set.
And speaking of great ambassadors to the British basketball community, Isaac Round coming into the game for the first time, and the Round family, of course, synonymous with British basketball. Isaac is on the court, and Josh, his brother, is actually the Basketball England videographer here today as well.
Family affair.
Of course, Jacob Round, a Great Britain international in his own right, plays his basketball in Spain. Here is Pinnock. Tez Allen guarding Powell tightly. Alexander against Nelson Henry. What a matchup that's going to be here today. Alexander doesn't get the drop with his hook, and Nelson Henry, almost caught in two minds, gives it up to Newman. The lob to Nelson Henry, who couldn't hold on.
Yeah, that's a tough pass. Tough pass. But the bigs going at it like that is what you want to see.
And Pinnock at the other end.
That's what Pinnock's known for. We talk about his three-point shot, but in transition, that's what he does. Action
fast and furious as Inga misses the three from the wing. Inside Nelson Henry. He now moves on to 9.
Yeah, right now they're really feeding off each other's tempo. They're really, so when Hemel get going, Redner go. When they're slowing them down, they're both kind of following each other, so.
Here is Powell, missed his first attempt, kicks it out to Pinnock. Champion surveying, putting the moves on Newman, pulls up, puts it up, no good, and Newman rebounds.
He's got to be careful reaching, he's on 2,000, he's reaching for no reason. And now the other way around.
Absolutely, Sam Newman with his 4th rebound, already has 6 points, 4 rebounds and 5 assists. A great little stat line there for Sam Newman. And you've got to take into account he had 2 fouls within the first 4 minutes.
Oh, he knows how to fill up a stat board. He great passer, great all-round player and great guy. He is Hemel basketball. He got voted fans Offensive Player of the Year. The guys at Hemel absolutely love how he plays. He's very unselfish and can really shoot the basketball as well. Obviously, them 2 fouls, he does reach a little bit, and I know Coach and his other guys do talk about that, but he does also top 5 in steals this year, so it does pay off sometimes.
Newman averaging around 2 steals a game. Both teams at the moment shooting around 47% from the field, so it's been fairly even. Reading still hold a slender advantage. Their biggest lead was 9 points. As Newman has it. Hemel looking to tie or reduce it to 1. Allen, and a foul called on the floor.
Yeah, Tez caught that ball, saw a younger guy on him and just done a little bit of bully ball. Tez is a great guy. He strong. When he starts shooting the ball well as well, because he does this, he gets to the line, gets people in foul trouble, and when he hits jump shots as well, Hemel are really dangerous.
Absolutely. Tez Allen, a graduate of Southern Oregon. First season with Hemel. Averaged 18 points, 10 rebounds in his final year of high school. He was playing for Carson City, Nevada. And obviously representing that part of the United States for the Hemel Storm. Shot clock at 12. Nelson Henry, a turnaround off the glass.
That's great defense, forcing him to fade away. When you're 7 foot, you don't want to be fading away from the basket. You want to go strong, and that's great defense.
Champion on 10 points right now, gets fouled, and he has a chance for 2 more at the foul line.
But Lewis is just making plays, taking charges, getting to the free throw line. Hemel really needs to start looking how they can stop him, because if he keeps going like this, he's going to have some success.
And where do we start with Lewis Champion? We touched on what he's done throughout his career. 17 points in the semi-final win against the Derby Trailblazers. 4 of 6 from downtown. 42% from three-point territory this season. You don't expect anything less from a champion, do you?
He's done it all his career. Whenever he does things on a basketball court, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all, especially in these kind of environments. Semi-final, he makes plays. He's a winner. this isn't his first time.
And of course, you and him have had some battles as well over the years.
I love playing at Reading. Great community, great fan base, and yeah, Lewis and I have had some good battles. Recently, he's definitely had the upper hand, but there's a few more seasons left in both of our legs, so we'll see how it goes.
Jake Einan, humble as ever. Nelson Henry inside off the glass, too strong. Pinnock rebounds.
Again, back-to-back great defensive possessions by Reading there.
3 rebounds now for Pinnock to go with 7 points. Alexander missed the handle. Round with a wild pass. It does find Clark. Pinnock was wide open, decided not to shoot. There is 6 on the shot clock for Mitch Clark. The Wizard of Oz needs to dance, and he misses the ball. Pinnock, a floater, misses everything. Shot clock violation.
Great defense by Hemel there. Reading didn't really get it going. I thought Mitch had the mismatch on the left wing there, and I don't know why they came to set the screen. I would have gone full low, let him try and take advantage of that, but it's great defense by Hemel and a timeout by Reading.
And as we actually have a break in play, 2:20 remaining in the second, it's been a frantic first half of action. Speaking to a few Hemel Storm fans before today's game, and they were expecting a very high-scoring affair, which is something you traditionally don't really see that often in playoff finals. Obviously, it's very physical, very scrappy. The pace can be a bit slower, but they've proven me wrong, because right now they're correct in a nutshell.
Guys are playing with confidence.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They're feeling free, they're shooting their shots, and as we see, it's up and down right now. So when you shoot a lot of shots, you're going to score more. And defensively, that could be an issue at the halftime talks. Definitely defense will be head of the agenda. But offensively, both teams right now really performing.
Absolutely. 2:20 remaining in the second period. As John Hobbs and Jake Einan keeping you company for the final game of the 2023-24 season. It's been a fantastic season. Obviously, Jake, yourself, probably not so much. Your season's been hampered with injury. You've played the majority of your season with Worthing, obviously started the season at London Elite. How has it gone for you, and how's your rehab?
Obviously, getting hurt early at Worthing was sad, because Worthing's such a great club, and I really enjoyed that. Playing with Hafiz, playing with Dan, playing with Ish. The first few games we had a lot of success, because when I first got there, they weren't having the best of the season. So going down injured early was really disappointing, but the rehab's going good, about 90% right now, so next year I should be back and ready.
Great to hear. And you were getting some shots up as well yesterday morning as well. I saw you getting a few threes up. Good to see.
Yeah, there's definitely some shots taken. I don't know about shots making. That's two different things.
Here is Newman. Newman driving at Pinnock, decides to stop and reset. There's 3 on the shot clock for Newman. Drives, gets bumbled, and he'll go to the foul line.
But again, Hemel, their half-court offense, it comes down to Sam making plays. They really need to start moving the ball a lot more from side to side, looking inside to Darian, because right now, yes, he got to the free throw line, but you're not going to have success over the full game having half-court offenses like this.
Sam Newman, a 74% foul shooter throughout his career, 81%. So a decent foul shooter, but has struggled a little bit this season, even by his high standards from the stripe. Still 74%, not a bad little region though. Not bad at all. He's definitely had to score a lot more this year. With Aaron gone and then Taylor gone at the start of the year, a lot more scoring was on his shoulders. We've known him for passing, but he can definitely get it done to scoring as well. Averaged 20 points in the inaugural EABL season, as Nelson Henry puts it in. Averaged 20 points in the inaugural EABL season back in 2013, when he was a product of Coppleston High School for Ipswich. And EABL MVP that year as well. Absolutely, yeah, he did. Took the words right out of my mouth as Clark puts up a baseline jumper. Big shot, big shot. That's what you need in these games. Big time players make big time plays. 1 minute and 30 to go in the half as Alexander blocks the pass, and here is Clark. As Reading again slow it down. Here is Clark again. And that pass got deflected. Johnson comes up with it. Johnson swings at Clark, and another offensive foul.
That's the third offensive foul that Reading have drawn this game. That's huge.
And a second one on Johnson, who now moves on to 2 fouls.
Again, I said earlier in the commentary, getting guys in foul trouble is huge for Reading. Making guys on the Hemel bench come up and play more minutes than they're not used to. And right now, the game plan's working.
1:13 remaining in the half. Reading up by 4. Reading, though, in the penalty. Hemel still with a foul to give. Here is Pinnock to Alexander in unfamiliar territory. Round. The general driving. Gives it up to Alexander at the foul line. Alexander rattles one in.
Great shot, great shot. Reading had a couple bad offenses, but now gave it to the general. He got to the middle of the paint, found an open guy, and had the corners to hit down a mid-range jump shot.
Johnson screaming for it from Nelson Henry, and now collects. Johnson surveying what's before him, drives inside, spins and scores.
That's what he does. He finds a way. That's what he does.
Final 27 seconds of the half.
See if Reading can get a good shot right here.
Round has that open look, but he's short with his floater.
That's a great cut though.
Great off-ball mover, Isaac Round. Shot clock is off, so Hemel, you'd think, would go for the last shot of the quarter. Here is Newman, waiting for Nelson Henry. Drives at Pinnock, the extra pass whacks the backboard. Final seconds, and Clark, caught in 2 minds, whacks the backboard, and that ends an entertaining but very fast-paced first half of action. You can barely breathe at the moment, but Reading have a 44-40 advantage over the Hemel Storm.
Yeah, the energy on the court definitely matches the energy in the crowd right now. Both team fans are going absolutely crazy, and on the court as well, up and down is what we want in the final. We want to see entertaining basketball, and both teams are bringing that right now.
Hemel Storm shooting 48% from the field. Darian Nelson Henry flirting with a double-double, 11 points and 6 boards on 5 of 8 shooting. Reading shooting 45% from the field. They're led by Lewis Champion, 5 of 5 from the 3-throw line for his 12 points.
Lewis is huge. If Lewis has a big game today, Reading are going to have a lot of success. And that's not just scoring. He takes a charge, he's diving on loose balls, he's doing things that winners do. And right now, the score's showing it.
Great to see so many British basketball personalities here in the building today. Lots of British Basketball League players, Women's British Basketball League players here in attendance. It's great to see, and it's just a fantastic atmosphere here at the National Basketball Performance Centre.
Yeah, having events like this where you can really bring the community together, and we all, yes, we're a community, but sometimes we're in Newcastle, sometimes we're in Manchester, sometimes we're down south. We're always spread out during the year. So being able to have a weekend where everyone's in the same place, you get to hang out with people you don't get to hang out with, and you get to speak to people that you don't get to speak to all the time. It's an amazing event.
And there's no place like the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester. It's a fantastic weekend of action wherever you are across the country. It's great to have you on board on the Basketball England YouTube channel. It is half-time. Reading lead 44-40. Plenty for Darren and Will to talk about, so we're going to throw you over to them right now.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you very much, Jake. You guys can go and take a well-deserved break. Well, we got 13 minutes to talk through the action. What an incredible first half we've just been treated to.
That was so fast-paced. That first quarter was so fast-paced. It was incredible. It's great to sit there courtside and just take in the atmosphere, take in the game, take in the adjustments. It's been a really, really fun first half.
Yeah, game duration, 39 minutes so far. That is absolutely lightning quick. I would expect that to slow down significantly as we get through, certainly fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams did that in the second quarter when they made the adjustments to go into zones, and they slowed down the scoring, and it came about a transition game. It came about trying to push that narrative rather than pushing the fast pace that it was in the first quarter.
Right, before we get into, I know you're itching to get into the real nitty-gritty. Let's talk bigger picture. Let's talk about what the players are doing right now. Let's talk about some individuals. Who's jumping out to you right now? Let's start with the team in the lead, the Reading Rockets.
I mean, I said it yesterday, I think, to you at half-time during the Division 2 final. There's loud 30s and there's quiet 30s. Right now, Lewis Champion's got a loud 12 points, and Taylor Johnson's got a very, very quiet 7 points for Hemel Storm. So those are the differences when you see the spread for Hemel's quite good, but Lewis Champion's loud 12 points, along with those 4 fouls, has been, to me, the standout so far in the first half.
So let's focus a little bit more on Reading then. They are, of course, in the lead. What is it they did well in the first quarter that helped give them that platform? They were up by 1 after 10.
It was, for me, the way they started the game, the intensity. When I spoke to Lewis in the week, he said that they've got some of the best on-ball defenders in the entire country. And I think they showed that the first couple of minutes, the way they came out, they set out, they laid their plate out, and they were like, this is what we're going to do, try and stop us. And they went on that run to start the game, and I think it was a testament to the way they play defence.
About Mitch Clark, he's somebody that just eye test, just visually really stood out to me, especially in the early going. I mean, he's just going at defenders relentlessly.
Yeah, he is. I mean, the thing with Mitch, I mean, we were both sitting there saying he's very Draymond Green-esque in some of the things that he does. The two offensive charges that he got on Taylor Johnson, I think it really got under Taylor Johnson's skin as well. And also, you can see he's smiling as he's done it, because he knows exactly what he's doing, exactly how to position himself. So he's been really impressive to me in the first half.
Taylor Johnson has 2 fouls in this game. They're both in my book as Mitch Clark, charge taken, TJ. Now, my old friend Catherine Hulme, she always talks about momentum plays, and charges taken like that can be a huge momentum swing for your team.
Of course, I mean, for someone like that to happen, when you take 1 charge is great, but if you take 2 charges on the same player, who's a star player as well for the other team, it lifts the whole team. It lifted the bench, it lifted the guys on the court. I saw Reese, he had a little bit of like, yeah, let's go type of expression to him. So, yeah, those sort of plays really, really count for teams in these sort of environments.
Let's think a little bit more about what Reading are doing well, but also, is there anything that Summit Nourizadeh is going to want to change in this second half?
The adjustments that he might make, he might like say to them, let's get back to our spacing like we had in the first quarter. They were really, really good at actioning their offense and their concepts really well in that first quarter. The zone changed that for both teams, I think. But when it's in a man-to-man defense, I think you can say, look, let's go back to spacing the floor. Let's go the options that work for us, which was a dribble penetration and a kick out. And what I mean by that is they were getting to the middle of the floor and then they were seeing the open man in the corner, and they got quite a few good looks in the corner there. I think let's get back to our game and let's get back to that, and I think that might be the adjustment that he makes, just getting them settled and read back into what they do best.
Hemel Storm, and then I promise you, we're going to go real deep X's and O's. I know you want to do that. Hemel Storm, they're down in this game. They're only trailing by the 4 points. And of course, we've mentioned a couple of players' names. I've got to highlight Darian Nelson Henry, 11 points in the contest, 5 of 8. It's a little bit Gandhi-esque out there. His footwork's elite, and we know that. He's, for me, a real difference maker. He has to stay in this game, though.
He triggers quite a lot of Hemel's offenses. When he gets the ball, that's where they kind of make their off-the-ball movement and trying to get options for Sam or for Taylor to get going. So when Nelson's one-on-one in the post, it's going to be a long day for any defender in the National Basketball League Division 1. So he's doing a really good job of getting down, getting position low, parking his man behind him. So all he can do is either foul him or it's a bucket. And he's doing really, really well with that at the moment.
We've spoken a little bit about Taylor Johnson. He's got the 2 fouls, but he's having a good impact on the offense. Though, is he being kept a little bit quiet by Reading?
Yeah, I mean, keeping Taylor quiet with 7 points in one half, you would say that he's keeping them quiet. But he's still getting to his spots. He's still getting what he wants to do within the game. So is half and one of the other with Taylor. If Taylor has 7 points at the end of the game, yes, Reading have done their job. If Taylor ends up with 30, no, Reading haven't done their job. So right now they're doing their job, and it's about keep doing that and keep frustrating him the way they're doing it. Unless maybe if they get one more offensive foul, you might see Taylor start to lose his head a little bit.
An important stat that I always look for is how many fouls have you drawn? So how many times have you been fouled and or been sent to the line? He's 3 or 4 from the stripe so far, and he has drawn 3 fouls. I mean, that's a skill, isn't it?
Of course. I mean, it's just like Lewis as well on the other side. Lewis has been fouled on 3 times and he's 5 of 5 from the line. So the 2 guys who have a quiet 7 points and a loud 12 points, the 2 guys that we said during the game are the 2 X factors right now. being able to finish at the line is bread and butter for any professional basketball player. If you're a professional basketball player and you don't have more than 80% from the line, you shouldn't consider yourself a professional basketball player. As a guard, all big men, don't attack me, all big men, sorry. As a guard, you should have more than 80% as a professional basketball player.
Digging through your numbers. Another number that I quite like for loose champions, sorry, jumping around a little bit, plus 12 in the overall plus minus. So that basically means that when he's on the floor, his team have scored 12 more points than the opposition. That is monster numbers in this such a close game.
Huge numbers, and again, it just shows that loud 12 points that he's had. 12 points that he's got is the 12 points in the spread of what when he's on the floor for his team. So clearly, as the captain, as the linchpin of the team, he's showing that he is that guy for them at the moment.
Talk to me about Sam Newman for Hemel.
Sam Newman, every time I see Sam play, I'm shocked. Not shocked, I shouldn't be shocked anymore. I used to be shocked, I'm not shocked anymore. He gets better and better and better every time I see him. He is possibly the best passer in the NBL. Some of the passes he's made in that first quarter, in that first half, were incredible. Especially when he's got the ball at the top of the key, his vision is elite.
Assists so far for Newman, so he might be one for triple-double watch if you're one to do that. Right. Before we get to the X's and O's, any adjustments that you would like to see made by Hemel?
I think Hemel need to use Nelson a little bit more in terms of their triggers for their actions. Get him in the high post, space the floor, get him in the low post, space the floor, get some off the ball movement going, and use him rather than use Taylor or Sam. Let's use Nelson to trigger our actions and then get some good, clean, open looks for the rest of the guys.
Now we've got about 5 minutes 15 until we're back into second half action. That gives us about 3 minutes 15 to talk to Will Reed. We're going to Will Reed's Coach's Corner. Talk to us.
Don't call us that, oh my goodness me. Don't call us that. I mean, it was just some notes that I was making in the game. I mean, what Reading did really well in that first quarter was they switched everything. And what I mean by that for anyone watching at home is when you switch, is that you're going onto the person that's next to you in the defense. So if someone's driving towards you and you're in a pick and roll situation, you're then coming out onto the person with the ball. So you're switching. And Reading did that really well in the first half, and especially in that first quarter. It gave Hemel some problems because it didn't matter if it was big, small, they were switching everything, and it was causing some real issues for Hemel to set their offenses up. I mean, there was points that during that where Hemel were trying to get themselves into the post, where Reese was in the post, but Reese seems was like, okay, come at me in the post and let's see what happens. And he was holding his own because they then had to help down to disrupt that. So then you're scrambling back over onto the person that's open in the corner. So they did really, really well in that first half with the way that Reading played their defense.
Talk to me about Reading on the offense now. What sort of thing were you seeing? Were they drawing people out? How were they getting their points?
What they did really well was they used Alexander as their kind of trigger for their actions. So what they were doing was they was bringing him out to the top of the key and it was bringing Nelson away from the basket. So when you bring a big man away from the basket, what it does, it then allows for the back cuts or an X cut to the basket from either side, and it opens the floor up, so then you're allowed to be able to go and finish at the rack, or you've got an open jumper. So it's just those sort of actions I think Reading need to get back to is spreading the floor, stretching out, bringing the big man out of his comfort zone on the perimeter. None of us big men like to guard out on the perimeter. We like to stay at home in the paint. That's where we like to live. So bringing him out under the perimeter, it just allows for so much more of an offense to work for Hemel. And with the amount of weapons that Hemel have offensively, that's what they need to get to.
No, really interesting. I can't quite call it a duel because they're platooning the big men. Reading, they're switching between Finley Porter and Christian Alexander, who Alexander had a great finish off a brilliant hustle play from Lewis Champion. Hook shot, love a hook shot. Anyway, those two big men going pretty much up against Darren Nelson Henry. Talk to us a little bit about that battle.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting there and I was like, the first quarter, I was sitting there and I was watching, I was going, Alexander's done a really, really good job of keeping Nelson quiet. And then they made a substitution and they brought the young boy in and then there was an and one straight away. But then what was interesting about that was then when they went into the zone, when they sat in that zone, Alexander didn't really look comfortable playing in that defensive zone. So it's going to be really interesting in the next half whether they go to a man-to-man with Alexander or they go into a zone with the young guy.
20 more seconds, you and I. Is there anything else you want to highlight from this first half?
I just want a 1-point game with 30 seconds left. That's what I want. That's what I want. I think that's what the viewers want at home as well. But I just want to see some really good basketball, which is what we've been seeing in this first half.
That question, who's got the ball in the hand from Reading in that last 5 seconds?
I asked the question in the week. I asked Michael Darlow for Hemel who gets the ball in the last 30 seconds, and the answer was obvious. We all know what the answer is. It's TJ. And with Reading, I think if Lewis can stay out of foul trouble, I think Lewis will be putting the ball in his hands to put that shot up.
All right, well, it's time to send it back over to your commentary team of Jake Einan and John Hobbs.
Nearly lost your voice there, Darren, didn't you? John Hobbs, Jake Einan keeping you company for the second half of what promises to be an exciting third quarter, and it's almost the same, Jake, as the Div 2 final yesterday. It's about who's going to blink first and who will go on that first run. It's been a close game so far. Something's got to give.
It's been back and forth the whole time. Both teams are really pushing the ball, really scoring in transition. I think whatever team starts playing the best half-court offense, I think that's who wins the game right now.
Absolutely, and got to give a big shout out as well. Hopefully our great camera operator Rolston can hear me. A great shout out to our sponsors for NBL Live this season and throughout the playoff finals weekend. He's getting there. He's getting there. I don't think he's got the screen up. But either way, a big shout out to our sponsors, Dynamic, Wilson, SportServe, Sure Shot and Sport England. There it is. He gives me the thumbs up as well. But big thank you to our sponsors for making sure this live stream on the Basketball England YouTube channel is brought to you today wherever you are across the country. It is great to have you on board. And before we start the third quarter, of course, the awards were handed out this week across Basketball England, and in Division 1 it was a clean sweep for the Derby Trailblazers. Sam Maston getting Player of the Season, and Coach of the Year went to Matt Shaw.
Well, when you win and you have the best coach and probably the best player in the league, they're going to get that award. Sam was amazing this year. Can shoot the ball, but again, he does what Lewis is doing today. He rebounds really well, he dives on loose balls, he's not afraid to sacrifice his body for the team, and it shows with the award, and they came first. And Matt, obviously we all know how good a coach Matt is. He's been doing this for years.
And then Raheem May Thompson getting Defensive Player of the Year as well. Another great season for him.
Yeah, amazing. Defensively is so underrated. He get it done on both ends. So.
Starting the third period, Brandon Inga misses the three from the wing. As there's a scramble for the ball at the three-point line, Clark comes up with it. Clark with 8 points right now, bumps Newman. Thought he was fouled, but Hemel will get the ball back.
I think Sam got away with one there. It would have been his third foul, so Mark would have definitely put him on the bench, but tough take. I would say it's probably a foul.
Newman, who picked up 2 early fouls in the first 4 minutes and has not committed a foul since, and has been on the court for the majority of the game thus far. So it's a testament to the discipline of the Hemel number 4.
He's had a couple of close ones.
Had to get that in there, didn't you, as Nelson Henry gets it to go.
If he can get going in the second half, he's a tough guy. When you're 7 foot tall and you can shoot that hook shot, you can't guard that.
And the gap is 2 in the early stages of the third. Final game of the season as Inga nearly steals it off Clark. And you can see Inga just falling a little awkwardly as Clark puts up a 3 and knocks it down.
That run-in 3, you practice it every day. Running in from the top of the key, dribble in, 5 each side, and he does that in practice, and he's doing it in the final right now.
Of course, who can forget Mitch Clark and Jordan Spencer's back and forth in the cup final back in January. They were trading 3-pointers for a solid minute. As Johnson has it. Johnson, Newman couldn't hold on.
Yeah, tough pass there. Sam couldn't quite keep it. But again, half-court offense. They're struggling right now. Sam needs to take control, get in a couple of good sets, move it from side to side, and look inside to the big fella.
Great to have you all on board on the Basketball England YouTube channel. Great to see so many comments, a little debate going, a little bit of love for Jake Einan as well.
Don't talk about my cousin like that, guys. I'm allowed to.
Jenkins a 3, splash.
Huge. He had a quiet first half, but if he can get going this second half, he's a big player for Reading.
Jenkins now on 6. 2 for 2 from downtown for Jeremiah Jenkins. Nelson Henry. Newman to answer, and does.
Big shot.
Clark driving at Allen. The layup is no good, and Nelson Henry collects the rebound. Here is Johnson. 8 rebounds now for Nelson Henry as Taylor Johnson will return to the charity stripe.
Again, that's what Hemel want. They want fast break. You take a tough shot down one end, Hemel are coming down the other end straight away. And again, Taylor getting to the line, sees the ball going a couple times, get more confidence. He's been a little quiet in the first half, but this is a final and it's Taylor Johnson. You never know what can happen.
And I know we were mentioning Derby Trailblazers to start the third quarter, and some Derby fans might want to close their ears at this next thing, but of course, who can forget 41 points in the 2023 National Cup final for Hemel in the win over Derby. Of course, Taylor Johnson loves playing at this venue.
I think he should move to Manchester. He would have a lot of success. I don't think the Hemel guys want to say that, but yeah, he loves being a final. He's a big-time player.
Get us in trouble there with Mark Clark and the Humphrey family who run the club.
Definitely.
Thanks.
JB is not happy.
Here is Pinnock.
Good defense.
Pinnock
that's
fouled
the third
by
foul.
Newman, and that's 3 fouls on Sam Newman.
Yeah, defensively is so good, but sometimes he likes to reach. He likes to take them gambles. I know Mark's not happy about it, but
Mark Clark, of course, great success with the London Lions in the WBBL for many seasons. Here is Clark for the Rockets. Pinnock looking for options, finds it in Alexander.
Good cut.
Inside as the shot clock wound down. That would have counted if it went in. Here is Johnson. Inga driving to the hoop. And a bit out of control, but he'll go to the foul line.
Hey, the ankle looks fine on the drive there. Maybe he was overplaying it a little bit. But now, Braden, good cut. Maybe should have got an and one right there. But again, it's the secondary fast break. It's what Hemel wanted. If Reading can slow them down and make them play half-court offense, they're going to struggle to score the basketball.
And of course, we knew as Jack Burnell comes into the game for the first time for Sam Newman. Jack Burnell, a great servant of the Hemel Storm. Missed a chunk of the season through injury, now in his 8th season with the Storm. A great three-point shooter, and one of his best shooting performances actually came in the COVID season against Reading when he was 6 of 8 from downtown in November of 2020. Of course, he can shoot the lights out when given the green light, as a timeout has been called on the floor. And we were just saying about Brandon Inga before Jack Burnell came on, and of course we knew he was playing today, and he's actually played dead on 20 minutes of action right now, which is a really good sign for Hemel Storm fans in this game. There was a bit of speculation as to how many minutes he would play, and speaking to assistant coach Michael Darlow before the game, they were hoping he'd play at least 10 minutes of action, and he's gone 10 minutes better.
Oh, I think with the adrenaline running through his veins right now and probably a few paracetamol and ibuprofen, he's finding a way. But, you know, he's a Kiwi, he's a tough guy, and he's not going to miss this game for anything. But again, he feels, when he's going to rim, he looks confident on it as well. So I think he has got confidence in his ankle right now, so he can make these plays because he's such a huge part of their team right now.
Of course, a big rugby fan as well, Brandon Inga. Of course, when you come from the Southern Hemisphere, you're always going to be a fan of rugby, aren't you?
Oh yeah. And he's going back to New Zealand, I think in 2 weeks' time to start his New Zealand season in the NBL out there as well.
Makes the second foul shot, and the gap is 1 with 6:55 remaining in the third period. Here is Jenkins. Jenkins gets it back.
Hemel in zone right now.
2-3 zone for the Storm, as Jenkins, a long three, strings it.
You go to a zone to make people shoot threes, and when you hit one straight like that, it's kind of a bit demoralizing playing in a zone, but it's a huge shot. The general there passed up a mid-range jump shot to kick to Jemiah, and he knocked it down.
A 34.6% three-point shooter on the season, 40% last year.
He knows how to make big shots.
Here is Allen to Burnell. Johnson driving. Burnell, a three, his favourite spot, but it's long. Inga skies for the rebound. And Hemel reset. 7 to shoot.
Got to be patient here.
5 on the shot clock as Nelson Henry, a wild hook shot, doesn't get the drop.
Yeah, tough shot there going to his left.
Maynard. And Clark resets. Powell driving at Johnson, the extra pass. Maynard pulls up for 2. Money.
Again, another head fake, mid-range. You see how confident they are. They're not scared to rush drop. They're head fake, blow by into an easy shot that you practice every day. Reading are playing really confident offense right now.
Here is Burnell. Nelson Henry looking for Johnson and finds him. Johnson, a pull-up jumper. That's off the back iron. And the ball will stay with the Storm.
Yeah, Taylor's trying to get it going right now. Good shot for him, but he's not dropping right now. But he's a confident player. He's not going to stop trying to shoot the ball. And, you know, we said it before, he loves this arena, so I would be surprised if he starts making them anytime soon.
Veronese signalling to Tez Allen, and he will take a break as he comes in. And, of course, Veronese, like you, an Ipswich product and another great player.
There's quite a few the Ippy boys out there right now. Sam,
Absolutely.
Veron, Reese. Yeah, Ippy's all throughout this final.
And the great Lee Linton Hodges watching on the YouTube channel as well. Obviously coming back to play for Ipswich as Johnson puts in a 3.
Huge shot. I just said he's going to keep shooting until he makes them. He's that kind of guy.
Jenkins pulls up. And his shot rolls around and out. Alexander on the follow, and Christian Alexander will go to the foul line.
Great rebound. Great rebound. Get to the line. Big guy. That's his first foul, so not too much issue there. But
Christian Alexander, whose season high or best performance of the season, you could argue, was against Hemel at Loddon Valley in March, had 20 points and 10 rebounds. 71% from the field, but unfortunately Hemel came away, well, unfortunately for Reading, Hemel came away with a 90-87 win on that day. Nelson Henry actually had his performance of the season for Hemel on that day, 33 points.
yeah, he started a little slow. Obviously, when you're retired, you come back into basketball. It's like riding a bike. Yes, you can ride it, but are you as good as you once were? No, it takes a few games to get going, and right now you can see with the hook shots he's been making, he's definitely back in the swing of things.
Obviously juggling basketball and a full-time job now, Darian Nelson Henry, as we mentioned earlier.
Oh, the work life.
Here he is on the ball, puts up a 3, and that's long. And we've seen a lot of three-point attempts this season from Nelson Henry, a lot of confidence from outside, but he missed it on that occasion as Clark looks to respond for the Rockets. Maynard nearly travelled with it, instead drives it, pulls it, and that's off the back iron, and Johnson collects the loose ball. And now Johnson will drive for the Storm, a pull-up 3. And the rebound by the general, Zach Powell.
He just hit one from there, but I don't think that's a great shot. I think Hemel really needs to start going to the inside.
Jenkins hidden amongst the trees, kicks it out to Clark. Alexander, wraparound hook, short, and Nelson Henry collects the rebound. Darian Nelson Henry now with 13 points and 10 boards, a double-double for him.
The bigs are having a good battle down there. It's good to see. Old school bigs basketball.
Johnson driving at Powell, and he's fouled along the baseline. 3:59 remaining, and every time Hemel get it to a one-possession game, Reading answer right back as Matthew Dizu will check in. Braden Inga will take a seat.
Yeah, Reading are definitely in control of this game. Hemel can't seem to get past that 1 point mark, but Reading showing their confidence offensively by not being worried that Hemel are on a run. They stick to what they're good at, and they're hitting shots right now.
Head coach Samit Nurizadeh of Reading screaming instructions as they're on defense here with 3:56 remaining in the third. Here is Johnson. Johnson with 6 to
Wow.
shoot. What a move from Johnson. What a play.
That's a highlight.
That is gorgeous from Taylor Johnson.
That's just natural ability. Natural ability, that is.
Powell, crossover, lays it up, blocked by Dizu.
What a recovery.
And away come the Hemel Storm. Izzy all the way, no good. Clark comes up with it. Here is Powell. Powell bumped by Johnson.
Tough foul.
It's getting a little intense on the court as Mitch Clark wanted him unsportsmanlike. That's not going to happen.
Well, it just shows how much it means to both teams here.
Well, actually saying that, the referees are actually having a chat.
I think it was a hard foul. It was a little extra, but I don't think it's a flagrant.
And yeah, regular foul has been called, and Zach Powell will go to the foul line. An 82% foul shooter for the season, a product of Aston Manor Academy in Birmingham. Has BBL experience on this very floor with the Giants, so he knows this place very well.
Again, like Lewis, he's definitely found a home at Reading. They're definitely bringing the best out of him, his skill set, his shooter, and a great athlete.
3:25 remaining, and the Rockets lead by 5 with 3:25 remaining in the third period, and we've got another 10 minutes of exhilarating action ahead of us as we call time on the 2023-24 season. It's been an absolute roller coaster of a season. It's been so much fun to watch. One of the most exciting seasons in recent memory as Johnson misses the layup, and away comes Clark for the Rockets.
Johnson's definitely trying to take over for Hemel right now.
Jenkins. Johnson on 16 right now, Clark on 11. Powell. Putting the moves on Dizu, drives inside, goes to ground, and Inga comes up with it, does well to keep his dribble alive.
Great pass.
Burnell in his favourite spot, splash!
That's what he does. Jack Burnell is a shooter. And an amazing pass by Braden there. Seeing a cross-court pass of that on the move with 1.5 ankles is an amazing play.
First assist for Braden Inga, and what a way to get it as Jack Burnell hits his first field goal of the game, and again, it's a one-possession game. Timeout called by the Rockets, as you see Michael Darlow and Mark Clark just having a quick chat. But once again, Reading still in the ascendancy, but Hemel coming back. But as we mentioned, every time Hemel come back, Reading have an answer.
Yeah, well, Reading have so many options, so many firepower on there offensively, that they find a way each offense to make a play and get a stop the other end. I think a lot of the inconsistency in the half court is really keeping this game close. If one of them teams can really start scoring in the half court and in transition, that's where we're going to get that 5-10 point lead and then get a bit more comfortable. Until that happens, it's going to be up and down. But as a viewer, that's what I want to see.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I want to see a running the gun in. I want to see lots of shots. I want to see guys making plays like Taylor and Powell, trying to do creative things. It is great entertainment.
Well, it's a 400-mile round trip for the Reading Rockets to be here in Manchester today, but speaking to some of their fans earlier on, they wouldn't trade it for the world. They wanted to be here in Manchester. They wanted to see the playoff final. They're here. They brought 3 coachloads of fans with them today, and they're out in full force.
Well, they deserve it. Beating Derby, who were the favourites to win this.
Yeah.
They deserve to be here, and the fans are loving it.
And Maynard nearly with an acrobatic layup. Dizu in transition, bumps champion, misses the layup. And Clark, another rebound for Mitch Clark. That's rebound number 6 for him to go with 11 points.
We said it earlier, he does it all. Having a guard that can rebound like that takes so much pressure off the bigs.
Champion the layup over Inga.
Okay, Lewis had a quiet start to the second half, but he's been doing the intangibles and gets on the score sheet right there.
Dizu explodes to the hoop and finishes.
Ex-Essex Rebels, Dizu with a layup right there.
Jenkins. It's been a fast-paced game. Physical and scrappy at times.
Oh, I'm tired just watching it.
Clark was looking to set his feet, but instead passes it to Maynard. 4 to shoot for the Rockets. Jenkins has to put it up and knocks it down.
That's what he does. You can't have a hand down late shot clock. He's not scared of shooting them shots.
Jeremiah Jenkins from three-point territory. He now moves on to 12. Johnson, 10 on the shot clock. Johnson loses the ball but is fouled.
Is he shooting?
It will be 2 shots. Reading with 1 team foul remaining in this third quarter, 1:17 remaining. It's a first foul on Mitch Clark, who's protesting his innocence to the officials. Of course, our referees today, Tom Muddyman, Matt Lloyd, and Paulina Hertz, calling the Div 1 final in good position, as we saw on the replay.
Yeah, it was a good call. But what a shot by Jenkins the play before. What a shot.
Johnson to the foul line. And he makes the first. Taylor Johnson, who was 4th in scoring in the British Basketball League this season before he left the Plymouth City Patriots and went back to the Hemel Storm. Debut this season against the Worthing Thunder. Scored his first points for the Storm after just 8 seconds on court. Not a bad way to start, I guess, as Finley Porter misses, well, got the ball ripped off him. I think Reading will keep possession. And just because I mentioned that, Jake has kept quiet.
I wasn't at that game. That was post-injury.
You were injury, yeah.
Yeah.
As Reece Pinnock ricochets the ball off Bonnell's knee and goes almost near Sam Neater of Hoopsfix.
Good cut.
Champion, beautiful move. Beautiful off-ball movement there from Lewis Champion.
Well, we know Reading, their sets are amazing. Their coach, he knows he's an X's and no guy. So they're out of bounds plays. They can score off them.
Here is Dizu driving at Champion, gets physical, puts it off the glass.
Good take. He saw the open lane, that right-hand side. He had the baseline to attack, and he's got an amazing first step.
Here is Jenkins for the Rockets. 36 seconds remaining in the third. Rockets up 3. All to play for. Here is Champion. Clark, 6 on the shot clock.
That's what they
Porter,
want right here.
he's got to have a Porter party because he's got to put it up. Misses it. Shot clock violation as Finley Porter airballed his hook shot. 17.5 seconds remaining on the clock.
That's great defense there by Baron. Stood tall, made him shoot a tough hook shot, and then hustling. Two guys that aren't scared to get on the floor, Reece and Taylor, showing what it's all about.
17.5 seconds remaining. It's great to have you all on board on the Basketball England YouTube channel. Let's try and get the viewing numbers to over 1,000. The Division 2 men's final peaked at 1,144. Let's try and get it to that as Johnson pulls up, and he's going to go to the foul line. And you can see Samit Nurizadeh frustrated at the defense there from Reading.
Yeah, you let him get to his spot there. You know it's late clock. He's going to go downhill and be aggressive. You have to be ready for that and force him into a tough jump shot rather than fouling him and get him to the free throw line 2 shots.
And it's a third foul on Jenkins, and that's 3 Reading players now on 3 fouls. Pinnock, Jenkins and Champion. Sam Newman and Taylor Johnson on 3 fouls conversely for the Storm, as Taylor Johnson goes back to the foul line. Trips number 9 and 10 for him so far. He's 87% on the game from the stripe. 5 of 11 from the field. As Jenkins just getting some instruction there from assistant coach Ben Fisher of the Rockets.
Yeah, he doesn't want to pick up a 4th before the 4th quarter, so late 7 seconds here, nothing silly.
Well, as we mentioned, Reading lead the league in fouls committed this season, so they don't want to get into foul trouble heading into the 4th quarter with it all to play for. They're in team fouls, but 7.2 seconds remaining in the penultimate quarter. Reading up by 2. as Cavell Hawes
Take out Johnson, right? On 3
checks in,
fouls.
and yeah, absolutely.
Smart
Taylor
play.
Johnson
Smart
comes
play.
out. Of course, Taylor Johnson needs to be rested for the fourth quarter. It's going to be a big fourth quarter. Reading with the final push of the third. It's Clark, Maynard, a three, nearly got it on the buzzer. And that ends the third quarter. A third quarter with it all to play for. Hemel have still not led in this game. The biggest lead for either team has been 9 points. Just tells you the tale of the tape, doesn't it? Where we haven't had a double-digit lead. The biggest lead has been 9, and it's a 2-point game going into the fourth.
I know, Reading can't quite pull away with it right now. I'm not sure if that's either their Hemel really being good offensively and finding ways to score, or Reading just not being able to stop them. Reading need to find a way to expend that 5-7 point gap so they can go into the last 4 or 5 minutes of this game comfortable, because if not, Hemel, 3 minutes to go, tied game, it's where they want to be.
Absolutely. It's been a roller coaster weekend, hasn't it? Here in Manchester, we had 3 incredible games where the Essex Rebels 2, the Sheffield Hatters 2, and the Milton Keynes Breakers took their respective divisional titles. Of course, Cola, City of London, Southwark Pride, getting the win against the league champion Ipswich Basketball Club in the WNBL 1 finale today. And what a way for Jackson Gibbons to go out in the WNBL 1 season. An incredible career he has had.
What a career he's had, and to go against a team that has won the cup and won the league, and I don't know about upset them, but it was a shock because it was a 20-point win. They were comfortable out there. At the end, they could have been a lot more. Ipswich hit a few threes at the end of the game, but it could have been 20-30 points. They definitely played even harder than they should have for him, and it was a great advocate for his career and what he's done with Cola, men's and women's.
And on the flip side for Ipswich, nothing to be ashamed of. A great season for the women. They won the league title. Harriet Wellham getting Player of the Year. And even though it ended in defeat, Liv Forster will now head to America full of confidence and really going to go get it in the States.
Yeah, they've got a couple of the girls going to America. Jasmine's going as well. And they've had such great careers. Nick's built an amazing program with the women's team in Ipswich right now. And when you have someone like Harriet Wellham as the lead of that, you're going to be successful. She's a bucket. She scores, she assists, she rebounds, and it's great to have her back at Ipswich.
Wasn't to be Ipswich's day today, but what a season they have had, winning the league title. But congratulations to Cola on a fantastic season for them, and another rebuild season for Jackson Gibbons' guys, but they pulled through and they won the playoff title today. A big congratulations to everyone involved in that incredible organisation and school academy in Southwark. Jenkins a three to start the fourth, no good. And now Hemel can either tie or take the lead in the early going. Here is Newman. Newman drives at Alexander and kicks it out. Johnson gets Hemel the lead.
He hit one in the third quarter from there. That's definitely his spot right now. Sam making a play, getting in the paint and finding Taylor for three.
Hemel fans on their feet. They're loving what they're seeing. Reading just a little quiet right now. They need something to get them going. Turnover from Clark, and away come the Storm again.
Is this the run that Hemel need right now to start taking the lead? The first lead of the game right now.
Newman gets the step.
What
inside.
Wow.
Nelson Henry the finish.
Wow, he's definitely got goggles right now. Yeah, what a pass by Sam. He leads the league in assists, and it's not bad passing to a big guy like that can score the basketball.
Clark. Jenkins back to Clark, a three. And the Rockets are grounded right now. There's a storm cloud brewing. Here is Inga. Back to Newman. Inga along the baseline. Misses the handle, bodies on the floor. Nelson Henry, Bonnell, a three. Misses it.
Tough one, that's a guy you want shooting that shot as well. Reading need to really slow it down right now, get back to what they're being successful at. Get the ball in Lewis's hands or Jenkins.
Maynard, back to Champion. Clark again. Mismatch with Nelson Henry. Here is Maynard driving, pulling it up and hitting.
Great shot. Great shot.
That will do Reading's confidence the world of good as they've trailed for the first time in this game. They now trail by 1. Here is Newman. Inga. And a foul has been called as Taylor Johnson at the foul line. Mitch Clark gets up on his feet.
Real physical down there. 2 bigs that aren't afraid to hit bodies. There's the guards don't want to be down there right now.
1 point lead for Hemel, a second foul on Mitch Clark. 13.7 assists in the semi-final win over Derby, Mitch Clark. And another whistle has gone away from the ball. And I think that's again on Reading.
Yeah, it's been a little bit too physical right now.
I think as well it's on Clark. That's 2 quick fouls. And now Mitch Clark, the 4th Reading player on 3 fouls.
Luckily it's mid 4th quarter, so it's not too bad. But that 4th foul, you may sit him for a couple of minutes.
Foul trouble creeping up with the Rockets. Still on 2 team fouls. Hemel yet to commit a foul in the quarter. Newman pulls up for 3, gets it to go. Sam Newman from downtown.
The Hemel crowd are loving that. Huge shot by Sam right there.
Reading need an answer. Clark, Pinnock driving. Clark for 3, gets it to go. What an answer.
The guy you want shooting the ball for Reading right now is Clark. He's a big-time player, big-time shot. Match Sam's shot right there is what they need.
The Wizard of Oz is coming to play as Pinnock steals it in an 8-second violation.
Great defense. We talked about his 3-point shot earlier, but he brings everything.
The Rocket is firing up now and Reading can sense it. It's a 1-point game, 7-2 to go. Timeout called by Mark Clark, a smart timeout from the Hemel coach.
Yeah, they need to get a little handle on this run by Reading. They took their first lead. They're still up 1 right now, but let's talk it over, calm them down a little bit, get into a few good sets. I'd say maybe look for the ball down low, get a couple easy buckets, or go pick and roll with Sam.
Now it's the time of the Rockets fans to rise as one. And what a game we have here. 7-2 remaining in the 4th quarter. It's 72-71 in favour of the Hemel Storm, who have not led until the 4th quarter. And right now it is all to play for as you see the Reading fans on their feet, just calming down as it's a timeout, and we need to calm down ourselves a little bit. This has been an incredible game.
Oh, wow. Amazing. This is the final that you want. Sometimes you come to finals and both teams are a little scared. They don't want to make mistakes because there's so much on the line. But right now they're playing free. Coaches are allowing them to do what they're good at, and it's good to watch. I'm having a great time.
It's an incredible atmosphere here in the National Basketball Performance Centre. And what a way to end the Basketball England season. Of course, we've still got the Junior Final Fours to come next week as well. It's going to be an incredible weekend of action. Taylor Johnson with the steal. Johnson with the finish and the foul.
Huge play by Taylor. The and one, it's the worst thing you can do. Turn the ball over and then foul the guy who scores. It's a huge play by Taylor.
Taylor Johnson, 24 points for TJ.
We said he loves Manchester.
And he's proving it right now. Throwing 4 assists and 3 rebounds. 50% from the field for Taylor Johnson. Chance for a 3-point play opportunity. 8 of 10 from the foul line. Make it 9 for 11.
Definitely putting an MVP performance in right now.
As he did all season last time out with the Storm, 41-0. Taylor Johnson scooping MVP honours in all the finals. Here is Pinnock driving, misses. Johnson another rebound.
Reading need offensively to slow it down and get back to what they've been successful at.
Great defense there from Pinnock, and now he is off to the races, and he scores.
That's 2 steals in the last 2 minutes by Reese. He's making plays.
Reece Pinnock, a defensive linchpin for the Rockets. They need him right now for stops. Johnson for three. Inga rebounds. Johnson again, great defense from Clark.
Great defense. And Reece is going up.
Pinnock is driving and he lays it up and in.
He's taking over both ends of the floor right now. Reece is bringing the energy for Reading.
Game is tied at 75.
Huge plays by Reece right now.
Over 4 minutes played in the fourth. Newman. Allen. Newman from the top. No good, that's off to the left. Alexander the rebound. Pinnock goes to the foul line. Will decide to pull it out. Stolen away by Newman. Newman 1-on-2. Newman the layup.
Does this have to end? Can we play overtime?
Something's got to give. Champion misses everything with his floater along the baseline. It'll stay with the Rockets.
Got end-to-end stuff right now. Both teams are gonna get tired. But in 5 minutes left, they've got to find a way in a final like this to keep making plays both ends of the floor. Steal by Sam, steal by Pinnock, fast break layups, get it done.
Nelson Henry checks out. Veronese comes in, and a wise move from Samit Nurizadeh as Newman, another steal.
Back-to-back steals.
And an off, that'll be a foul, unsportsmanlike on Jenkins. Was just about to say that Samit Nurizadeh smartly subbing out Reece Pinnock, who's on 4 fouls, bringing in Jenkins, and then you have the turnover.
Yeah, it's tough. We said about Sam earlier. He got in foul trouble from reaching, but then fourth quarter, 5 minutes left, he gets 2 steals from reaching. It's what you take. You take the fouls or do you take these plays? And right now, I'm taking the plays.
And crucially, Jeremiah Jenkins now on 4 fouls, so 2 Reading players stuck on 4 fouls as Newman hits the first.
Yeah, 2 really important players for Reading right now as well. Losing Jenkins right now will be huge. His shot-making ability late in the game is what Reading are definitely going to need.
Newman makes both free throws, and Hemel will get the possession as well. And a fresh 14.
Yeah, the faces of the Hemel guys are definitely rejuvenized right now from this little run. Reading need to bring something different to bring their energy down.
5:13 remaining. 4-point game. Inga looking for Johnson on the turnaround jumper, misses everything. And the ball goes out of bounds and right into Matt Johnson's lap, and the Reading fans want it to be their ball. Couldn't quite see it from where we were.
Yeah, I might need a bit of VAR for that one.
Might need a replay for that, but in any event, as Sam Newman prepares to inbound the ball, here is Allen. Shot clock winding down. I don't think they realise it. Newman misses the 3. That would have counted as well.
It looked good from this angle.
Slightly off, but it did look decent. Alexander.
Good pass.
Jenkins, the extra pass. Maynard, a 3. Get it.
That's where they found their success earlier, going into the post and extra passes. It's a great offense.
Elijah Maynard nails the 3. He now moves on to 13.
He's been huge so far.
Johnson. Inside Allen, a mismatch on Champion, and a foul has been called.
Oh, goaltending,
they're going to call goaltending.
Oh, I hate that call. I hate that call as a basketball player.
We'll see what hopefully we'll have a replay of this as Nelson Henry checks in and Brendan Inga comes out. We'll just see on the replay here, here's Allen with the layup, and there it is. Christian Alexander smacks the backboard. That's the goaltend.
Yeah, I don't know if I can give my opinion on that one.
Here is Jenkins.
See Sam and the lanes making them play a little bit higher.
9 to shoot for Reading. Maynard again a 3. That's off the back iron. Nearly got the steal. There's bodies on the floor. Jenkins comes up with it. Jenkins is wide open, but he misses. Clark the follow, and Champion resets.
Right, get into a pick and roll, settle down.
Clark. Maynard, same spot, decides to go inside. Could have been a foul there, but Newman comes up with it.
Good
Inside,
pass.
Eze, the throwdown.
What a pass. Timeout. timeout. Sam knew exactly what was happening. He told Veron to keep running. Taylor on the right wing took that defender away, and Veron down the middle for the easy dunk.
The fans on their feet, the action is fast, it's furious. Both teams giving it their all, their heart, their soul, their passion. This is what it's all about.
Well, it's the final. There's nothing. Tomorrow's the off-season. You have nothing else to play for. Right now, they're giving it all. Both teams are giving it all. The fans are giving it all. The coaches are giving it all. We're giving it all right now. This is a great event.
A big thank you to everyone watching. We have now topped over 1,000 viewers. Let's keep it going, because this is going to be an incredible ending. Hemel in the ascendancy, leading 83-78, their biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, well, we were saying earlier that Hemel couldn't quite get over that 1-point bump, but now they're in the driving seat, and we'll see if Reading can come back from that. They need guys to make plays, make shots. This is where a guy like Lewis, he's going to be like, oh, I need to make a play. Wouldn't be surprised if he hits a three, takes a charge, something along them lines. And
one X factor as well. You mentioned, will this game ever end? We don't want it to end, we want overtime. That's what you said, your words. For right now, it favours Hemel, because not only are they in the lead, Hemel, obviously Reading could come back into it, but Reading have 2 players on 4 fouls, and they're big players in Jenkins and Pinnock.
Oh, huge players right now, especially when you have a lead guard like Sam. He's going to run the clock out. So Hemel are in control right now, but with Reading's talent and the ability to score, 5 points is nothing. That's 20 seconds. There's 2 offenses. And Hemel in a little bit of press right here to try and get them into something different.
Here is Jenkins. Reading need an answer. Down 5. Alexander, double teamed, and a turnover. Again, here comes Johnson. It's 2-on-1.
Showtime.
The lob, not the finish though.
Mark's not going to like that. 3 minutes left in the finals and you're throwing a lob. It's not going to like that.
Especially when the game is on the line.
Yeah.
Neither team has had a double-digit lead in this contest. Here is Clark, champion. Reading want him to come alive. Here is Maynard driving at Dizu. The baseline jumper is money.
Here's mid-range right now. He's keeping Reading in it. If he hit a 3, he's hit a couple mid-range. That lefty jump shot is working right now.
Newman. How's your heart rate at home, folks? Here is Newman, still has it. Should be a foot violation, but Clark is fouled by Newman. That's 4 fouls on Sam Newman.
He got a little bit frustrated there, possibly a kick ball, but I don't know if the pass was there, but they're on 1 team foul now. The only thing is, Sam on 4 fouls, they need him this last 2 minutes to really slow the game down and be in control.
Foul trouble creeping up with both teams. That's a first team foul on the Storm. Nearly 8 minutes played. That's their first foul of this 4th quarter. Here is Clark. Nice pass inside.
What
the
a
block,
ball.
the foul. Tez Allen thought he had a clean block as Alexander was going to dunk.
That's a play that you don't want to see called, even if it is a foul, because it's a guy that's willing to go up and dunk it. We'll see on the highlights right now.
Christian Alexander, who has been hammering them down all season long at Loddon Valley, wanted to get a screensaver here at the National Basketball Performance Centre, but instead will settle with a trip to the line, and he hits the first.
Yeah, huge play. Definitely a foul. Good call.
Obviously, where we were, it looked like a clean block, and then you see the replay, and it was a totally different story.
Hey, that's why we're playing and commentating and not reffing.
Referees call it as they see it. We have the benefit of the replay. The referees have done a fantastic job here today, letting the play flow, and that's testament to Tom Muddleman, Matt Lloyd, and Paulina Hertz.
I think the whole weekend's been well reffed.
Absolutely.
The whole weekend. Now Reese just checked back in with 4 fouls. He's going to bring that defensive pressure to try and get Sam out of his rhythm.
Jenkins takes a seat. Inga. Nelson Henry backing down Alexander. Nelson Henry, the hook.
Wow. There's patience. That was a professional hook shot right there. Patience, a lot going on, late clock. Get to his spot, easy bucket.
Final 2 minutes. 3-point game. Champion, Clark. Step back, has to pull it out. Maynard. Inside Pinnock.
Good defense.
Ball batted around and Johnson has it.
Good defense. Reading just couldn't seem to get comfortable on that offense there.
ending up with 90 seconds left in the NBL 1 season. It's a three-point game. Will we see overtime? Johnson on the floor. Pinnock comes up with a steal. Ooh. Maynard, Clark, back to Maynard. Inside Alexander, and he's fouled by Nelson Henry, who tries to protest his innocence.
That was a little bit of a tie foul. He didn't need to reach on that, but Reese down the other end, he's on 4 fouls, but still willing to risk it for a great steal and get a Reading transition. But down here, I think that's lazy reach right there. He wasn't going anywhere. Make him make a tough jump shot. Then said he's going to the free throw line. He's just hit 2 as well. So
Christian Alexander, a 58% foul shooter for the season, misses the first. It can still be a 1-possession game, a 2-point game, excuse me, if he makes this.
Yeah, minute 16 to go.
A lot of time. Alexander misses both.
That's huge.
Nelson Henry the rebound. Nelson Henry now on 11 boards.
Reading need a stop right here.
Entering the final minute. Hemel, a crucial possession. Newman, Allen, doesn't go for the 3. Newman drives. Newman lays it up. No good. Nelson Henry on the follow. No good either. Champion rebounds. Reading go again.
They got their stock and they get run a good offense right now. 40 seconds left.
It all comes down to this right now. Final 40 seconds for Reading. Champion. Inside, Alexander. No good. Gets his own rebound. Champion. Clark a 3. In and out.
Huge shot. That's the guy you want taken now as well.
But Reading get the ball back. Pinnock. Champion from the top. No good again. Big rebound for Hemel.
You've got a foul.
And a foul from Clark. That's 4 on Mitch Clark.
2 guys you want shooting that 3-point. Clark and Lewis just didn't get to full. Wow.
The emotion oozing through the National Basketball Performance Centre. You can feel it here in the venue. I hope you can feel it at home. It is incredible here. 4 on Mitch Clark. 3 Reading players now on 4 fouls.
This is entertainment. This is what we come here to watch. This is the pinnacle of National League basketball, and they're putting on a show right now.
Taylor Johnson, 25 points. Misses the first.
Does either team want to win right now?
No pressure though on Taylor. Just compose yourself and make this next one.
He's been here before.
He knows the big game situation. The Rocket fans are all on their feet, as are Hemel. Johnson for a 4-point lead in a 2-possession game. Rattles it in.
Huge shot, huge shot.
Timeout, Coach Nurazade. 15 seconds left. What a way to end the playoff finals weekend.
So now coach has to think, do we go for a quick 2 here and foul again and hope they're going to miss a free throw, or do we go for the 3? They've just missed a couple, but they've got amazing 3-point shooters on their team. So I know what I would personally go for. I would go for the 3 right here, but let's see what coach draws up.
Reading at the moment 9 of 17 from downtown today, so shooting at a good clip at 52%.
Yeah, they've shot good all year, but let's be aware with Mark. Defensively, he may change something up here to mix it.
And also as well, they were 46% in the semi-final win against Derby. And to further quantify that, they're second in 3-point percentage at 37% for the season. Only Derby have bettered them. And in 3rd place, it's Hemel. So 2 big 3-point shooting teams, and my goodness me, do Reading need a bucket now?
Yeah, he's going to draw something up, and this is whether the guys can execute. Other guys are going to be able to hit a shot. They've practiced it. This is the time where big-time players make big-time plays. There's no bigger platform than this. So Lewis taking it out on this side. Let's see how they set up.
Clark, Jenkins, Maynard, and Champion, all 3-point shooters.
So you've got Jenkins on the low here, so watch out for the Spanish screen.
Here we go, 15 seconds remaining.
Oh, still.
Turnover by Newman, but it's out of bounds. 2.5 seconds taken off the game clock. .5 remaining. Clark goes inside for the quick bucket and lays it in.
They have to foul straight away.
Game.
They have to
foul. 8.3 to go. Timeout, Mark Clark.
It's a great take. I think he had the big on him. He could have settled for a bad three-point shot, but saw the lane. They're going to foul straight away here. Can Hemel make their free throws?
It's a case for the coaches to just execute what they have left. 8.3 seconds remaining, and the goal is simple. For Hemel, time is on their side. 8.3 to go. They're up by 2. Make Reading foul, go to the foul line and execute your foul shots when it matters most. And for Reading, it is a case of foul as quick as you can. Hope that they miss their free throws and obviously get a bucket at the other end.
Yeah, if you're Hemel, you want Sam or Taylor to have the basketball here. And if you're Reading, you've got to foul someone else.
And also, Reading are out of timeouts as well.
Yeah, coach had to take one though. You have to take one. And then on this end, the guys is going to let him play. Well, you can draw up a play, so you know you're going to foul, so you know you're going to have the ball down this end. So you can draw up a play ready for the full court. He's got a whole playbook, so they know what they're going to do.
Hemel still have a timeout at their disposal. Reading have used all theirs. An enthralling finish to this NBL 1 season.
Yeah, Tez to take it out right now. So Sam and Taylor at the top. They're the best free throw shooters. You want the ball in their hands.
Hemel, good three throw shooting team, and Sam Newman is fouled. And I believe that's on Mitch Clark, and that is his game done. 5 fouls with Mitch Clark. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists and a steal.
He's had a huge game, a great season. He was in the British 5 as well,
Yeah.
so everyone's seeing how good he is. He's going back to Australia to go play in Perth in the NBL. He's had a great career at Reading. Hopefully he comes back.
Newman makes the first. It's a 3-point game. Sam Newman, 74% foul shooter for the season. A man who was 6 of 10 from the field, 3 of 7 from downtown for his 17 points against the Bradford Dragons in the semi-final, in an absolute belter of a game in the semi-finals.
I think they may make him retake it right here.
Just see what's going on. The referees are talking about something.
Oh, no, one shot.
They're not, it's just one shot, so Newman has one more foul shot. Mitch Clark and Nurizade screaming at Champion to be in the paint. Newman, 6.9 seconds remaining, a smile on his face. Misses it. Powell gets it. Shot clock winding down. The layup.
Why did he go
Why
for 2?
did he not go for the 3? There's going to be some time left. Why did Zach Powell not go for the 3?
I have no idea. When you're in transition like that, you're running downhill, and I know he wants to go to the rim.
Absolutely. Obviously, you know, the emotion, the adrenaline is running.
But that's where your IQ, you have to know time and score the whole time. Even if you're not the point guard, every player on the court in this arena at this time, you must know the score.
But at the same time, I think Reading still have possession. 0.8 of a second is left on the game clock. So Reading still have a possibility to force overtime, but it's got to be a catch and shoot.
Don't foul. You can't foul right now.
It all comes down to this. 0.8 of a second left. Reading need a 3. It's got to be quick. Maynard puts it up. No good. Hemel have done it. By the inches of margins, Hemel have repeated as playoff champions.
Back to back. What a game. When you have such good games like this, one team sadly has to lose. And Reading were amazing today. Amazing. But Hemel just had a little bit more.
Jubilation for the Storm. Heartbreak for the Rockets. An instant classic to end the NBL 1 season as Mark Clark and Samit Nurizadeh embrace at midcourt.
What a job Mark has done this year, coming in from a 42-0 season and winning this. It's huge.
They were 7-3 at the end of 2023. The introduction of Darian Nelson, Henry and Taylor Johnson lifted them to a new level at 12-2 to make it to the playoffs. And now they've made the biggest lift of all as they ground the Reading Rockets and win. As Sam Newman comes over to us on the commentary booth.
Don't worry, I'll be telling about that missed free throw at the end. We'll be talking about that later on the phone call home. What a game, though. What a game.
Well, they made the last 2 games hard work for themselves, Hemel, didn't they? A 1-point win over the Bradford Dragons.
Yeah, that was an amazing game, and they had the chance to win it, but Justin just couldn't knock it down.
Absolutely, and then they trailed for the majority here today. They only took their first lead in the early stages of the 4th quarter, but they came through. And Maynard, who got his 3 off in time, agonizingly falls short. That's the difference in basketball, isn't it? It's those small margins, and it was no closer than today. It was an incredible game. The smallest of margins decided the Div 1 final.
Yeah, when you have 2 teams that are this good, it's separated by a bit of luck and an in and out like that. It could have hit the backboard and rolled in. There's so many different ways it could happen, but today Hemel had that little bit of luck that took them over the line. But Reading were amazing today, amazing, and it's sad that one team does have to lose. But yeah, Hemel, they're back to back. They've been here before. They've done it again, and I'm sure they'll be back here in the future as well. Both teams.
Taylor Johnson with 26 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Darian Nelson Henry, 11 boards, 15 points for him. In fact, he actually got a rebound taken away, 2 rebounds taken away from him actually, so he's just short of a double-double on 15 points, 9 boards. Sam Newman, he's not going to be happy, but who cares? They've got the win. Sam Newman, 13 points, 7 assists, and rightfully takes his place as the leader in assists this season as the referees Tom Mudderman, Matt Lloyd and Paulina Hertz collect their medals, and the hard-working table officials, led by Bristol Flyers player Chloe Hynett, of course, agonizingly falling short in the WNBL 1 playoffs, collecting her medal and a picture with the Basketball England photographer Luke Simcock.
Yeah, being around a Basketball England event, behind the scenes of this, you see there's so many people that are involved in this to create such an amazing event, amazing weekend like this. There's so many unsung heroes, and it's great that they can come on here and get the photo, get the medal. They deserve much more than that, but it's nice to see.
And also as well, Division 3 coach Greg Lapufu of the Manchester Swarm, also part of the table crew this weekend, as the Reading Rockets now collect their silver, their runners-up medals. A fantastic performance from the Reading Rockets, 16-8 this season. They dethroned the league champion Derby Trailblazers in the semi-final and nearly forced overtime. But agonizingly, Elijah Maynard's 3 in the corner, in and out. That's basketball sometimes. But what an advert for NBL 1, what an advert for British basketball the Reading Rockets and the Hemel Storm have put forward today. Unfortunately, there had to be a runner-up, and Reading Rockets undeservedly have to collect their runners-up medals. Samit Nurizadeh and Matt Newby exchanging smiles. Of course, those two coaches, were part of the Leeds Carnegie Leeds Force program a few years ago. And Hemel Storm soaking it up. And Jake, they've deserved it, haven't they, Hemel? For all they've gone through in the season. It wasn't easy for Mark Clark coming into a team that came in 41-0, but what a job he has done.
Well, as a coach, you want to be able to come in and improve on last year. And when you go perfect and you win everything, there's not much more you can do. But an amazing job by him this year. It shows how good of a coach he really is. Talking to Sam about him, he says that his mind is on a different level. His X's and O's are amazing, and he can motivate guys to do things, do more than they can do. And yeah, Hemel is what they do. They're an amazing program, from the back office to the coaches to the players. They know how to win championships. It's their pedigree right now. Four finals in a row. That speaks for itself.
And as they collect their winners' medals, Taylor Johnson collects his winners' medal. A fantastic achievement from this Hemel Storm team. An incredible community led by the Humphrey family, Catherine Taylor, the Darlow family, of course, Michael Darlow, the assistant coach, his dad Steve, the assistant coach of the women's team playing in WNBL 2.
And before we hand out the Division 1 Championship Trophy, it's time to...
And it is time for the MVP award.
5 steals, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, and 18 points. The number 4.
And it is Sam Newman.
Wow.
Sam Newman with 18 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds, 2 steals, collects the MVP. Congratulations to Sam Newman. And that's a proud moment for you as well.
100%. He's been here multiple times. It's his first MVP, but he does things that not a lot of people see. It shows up on the stats, but he just gets guys going. He gets guys to score the ball more. He can play. He does it both ends of the court. Obviously, he got him a little bit of foul trouble today, but it's very well deserved.
And now, as they pose for pictures, ladies and gentlemen, a toast to the pride of Basketball England, Hemel Storm. What a moment for the Storm. They're used to this, aren't they? Back-to-back playoff trophies for them. They swept the board last season, but they keep at least one trophy in their bulging cabinet. Congratulations to them, and also to Sam Newman, a thoroughly deserved playoff finals MVP, but a great performance from them.
Yeah, a great season overall by Hemel. Individually, they were amazing, and as a team, they're always going to be here or thereabout every year. So it's what they do, it's in their blood, it's in their DNA, they're winners. Hemel Storm are winners.
And while the Hemel fans celebrate with their incredible supporters, commiserations to the Reading Rockets. Absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. A great season. They finished in 4th place. They made it to this dance, but unfortunately it wasn't to be their day. There had to be a loser, unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly, however good the game is and entertaining, someone has to lose. And today it was Reading. It wasn't deserved, but they had guys step up, make plays, but Hemel were just a little bit too much today.
And Darren is with the winning coach of the Hemel Storm, Mark Clark. Mark just getting a breather as the Hemel fans celebrate with the players. Take it away, Darren.
Thank you very much. John. Mark Clark, you promised us drama, you promised us excitement, and you guys delivered.
Well, I wanted to excite, like you said, but maybe a couple more a little bit. But no, I mean, and hats off to Reading. They led most of the game. They shot the ball really well. And every time we got them deep on the clock, Jesus, like they've made some big shots. But we've been resilient all year. And Sam Newman rightly got the MVP because he does so many things that he finds difficult in some ways, but he makes it work for him, and he's just had a great performance.
Now, you personally, you've had such an incredible storied career. You've been in this spot a lot of times. What does this mean to you, this win?
This means a lot because of the guys in the stands and the people behind the club, because across too many years, I don't think I've ever come across an organisation that cares so much about the players and their reputation and their everything else. And you can see a number of people who've made the trip. That's what's made this one really special, because they could have easily responded to winning everything last year. Oh, we can't. But they've been so supportive all the way through. And we've really recruited some great people, and they've got a bit of silverware. So it's just a marvellous situation.
Finally, what does it mean for the club and for the town?
Wow, Hemel, well, you know, and lots of people know, Hemel basketball has so much history. Last year was an amazing performance by the whole organisation to win everything. But for them to go back-to-backs and to prove that the continuity and consistency is huge. They've now won back-to-back major championships. That's not just players, that's the whole organisation. We get a lot of support from the town, a lot of support from Mike Penning, the MP. So it's just an all-round thing that they've done as much as we have for this.
Enjoy it, congratulations, and thanks for another great season.
All right, thank you very much.
Sweet Caroline serenades the National Basketball Performance Centre. Thanks to Mark Clark, deserved winning coach of the playoff Division 1 men's final. And we now have the MVP, Sam Newman. Amongst the noise, needs to turn it up, but there we go. Sam Newman is with Darren.
Sam, MVP, what a brilliant performance. Just talk to us about how you guys got over the line in what was a great game.
Oh man, that's crazy. Reading pushed us, man. 3 quarters, they had our number. They shot the ball really well, but our principles were that they couldn't keep it up for 4 quarters. We just had to stick with our guns, and it got us there. Like TJ, massive performance, Darian, massive performance. Yeah, I'm not getting it.
Obviously, coming off that huge success last year, a lot of change around the club. What has this meant to you guys getting here today?
Oh, man, it's like, no disrespect to our guys from last year, this one means more to me. Like, last year, winning everything was the baseline. Like, we had such high expectations from day one. We've been knocked and got up and knocked and got up 3 or 4 times this year. People leaving, people coming back. Like, yeah, man, I'm so proud. Like, I love these guys so much. It's be sad not playing again next year, but...
And final one, just what does it mean for you as the individual?
Someone said earlier in the week, like, they do awards and all that kind of mean much to you, and they don't, like, I know it's cliche to say, but I want to win. Like, if you see, I'm just passionate about winning so much, and whoever won this award, like, so many people could have today. Thanks that it was me, but, like, it really isn't that precious to me.
Thank you so much. Great season, and enjoy tonight.
Thank you, Sam, as he comes and embraces Jake Einan here on the commentary booth. But before we throw it over to Darren and Will, as you see there, the final score 87-84. Just like to give a big thank you to Basketball England CEO Stuart Kellett, and also as well to Basketball England competitions manager Gail Richards, who will be leaving Basketball England after 15 years working for this incredible organisation. A big thank you to you. This playoff final would not happen without you. This playoff final weekend would not happen without you. You'll be sorely missed, and best wishes on all your future endeavours, Gail, as we hand it now back to Darren and Will. John Hobbs and Jake Einan signing off, and we'll see you next season.
Thank you very much, John. Right, Will, we've got a couple of minutes. There's actually no time on the board, so we don't actually know how long we have. We have as much time as we need. We're going to wrap up the weekend, but first I've got a really quick question. Is there a better sport in the world than basketball?
No.
The excitement, the drama we've just had, I can't believe it.
No. Basketball is the best sport in the world. I don't care what anyone says. It's the best thing in the world. It doesn't matter what level you play at. This level of excitement that you get with a close game coming down the stretch, nothing beats it in professional sports. Absolutely amazing end to the weekend.
So there's a really quick little wrap-up of what this game had. What happened?
We said at halftime. Well, I said at halftime. I won't say we because I don't want to get you in trouble. I said at halftime. Taylor Johnson's 7 points was very, very, very quiet. He got loud in the second half. Sam did what Sam does best, and he just was that Swiss Army knife and deservedly MVP. But that loud, what was it, 26 from Taylor, sorry? That was what the difference was in the second half, I think.
And just down the stretch, you know, Reading, they pushed them all the way. What a brilliant performance that they put in. You know, it takes two to tango, and what a dance they had. Yeah,
I mean, they're a great unit, great bunch of guys. I was briefly speaking to the head coach after the game, and I said, listen, keep your head up. He looked a bit despondent at the end of the game. I think he was just replaying the game, as we all do afterwards when we're passionate. We get a bit upset. And I said to him, keep your head up. The adjustments you made were the right adjustments. You had Hemel scratching their heads of how to respond. So you did the right things, and you have a really, really close game against one of the better teams in the country. So, yeah, great. Nothing to be ashamed of. Fantastic performance from Reading today.
Well, that was a brilliant game, and it's capped off a fantastic weekend of basketball. Let's just recap this. Let's go through Saturday. I mean, what did you take away from Saturday overall?
Saturday overall is that Milton Keynes are going to be a force to be reckoned with in Division 1.
100%.
Sheffield are doing what they do best and creating history again. Some who's who of basketball in this country in the NBL are going to be retiring. So it was great to see them get that last win and that last hurrah for Gandhi, especially with an MVP. D3 final was fantastic. Essex Rebels, I think, made a statement about their programme with their second team winning that. I know that Chuck was very disappointed with how Barnet performed, but great all-round weekend. Fantastic advert for the game and for British basketball, but mainly for Basketball England and how we're going to move forward for the next 12 months.
And a brilliant day today. Not just the men's final, the women's final. Oh my goodness. It took me a long time to settle down after the just drama of that final.
I mean, it was an amazing final. I sat and I watched I think it was the National Cup final last year with Ipswich and Kohler, and Ipswich did something that I found not disrespectful. It was the right thing to do. As one of my friends' kids runs onto the court, no, yeah, it was really interesting. Last season, what they did was they camped in the paint and allowed Kohler to shoot. This year, Kohler went, okay, let us shoot and see what happens, and had a really good response. So it was really nice to see for Jackson and those guys to bring home the chip.
Well, I think that's pretty much all the time we have allotted. It says 0-0-0 over there. I just want to say an enormous thank you to everybody involved at Basketball England, especially, of course, Gail, who is sadly moving on to pastures new. But all the table officials, referees, volunteers, people who work for BE, of course, all of your commentators and presenters this weekend. Just a massive thank you to all of you, all the players, and of course, above all, everybody around the world enjoying what has been an amazing playoffs finals. And guess what? We get to do it all again in just a couple of months' time, and we will see you then.